Good evening, everyone, and welcome to NetSN's first football game of the 2023 season. We're here in Gilmer, Texas for the top 5 matchup between number 5 Gilmer and number 3 Chapel Hill. Hello, everyone. I'm Bret. Alongside me, Keith Whitman. Keith, it's football season.
It is football season. It is about time that we are here. It seems like you and I were talking earlier. It seems like we've been waiting forever for this to get here over the summer, but it is here, and we couldn't be happier.
So looks like we got the players on the field, and we're going to do the national anthem and everything. We'll take care of that. We'll see if they do the coin toss first here. Looks like they may do the coin toss. Man, this is going to be a good one tonight. Of course, last year this game was in Chapel Hill, and Keith, it didn't go so well for the Chapel Hill Bulldogs.
No, the Bulldogs came out and had a bad time keeping the ball. They turned it over a whole lot during that game, and, of course, Gilmer did what they always do. They took advantage of that, and hopefully Chapel Hill will come into this one and keep a hold of that ball, because you can't score if you don't have the ball.
No, it's tough to overcome 7 turnovers in one game. I mean, honestly, the score could have been a lot worse for Chapel Hill's defense, and I think that's going to be the key for me tonight, is to see the defenses. We know the offenses are going to put up points, but whose defense can make the most stops?
Right, and everybody's going to have to keep their what they call their heads on their shoulders and play a good football game and not lose anything. Keep that ball in their hands, play smart football, and this is going to be a toss-up. I mean, I know who I picked in our pick'ems, but it could be anybody's game. Both teams are high-caliber teams. They have good athletes on both sides, so it's going to be a great game to watch. And it looks like the coin toss is done, and Chapel Hill won the toss, and they deferred.
Yeah, so they'll kick off to Gilmer.
So
Gilmer will get the ball first. So
we're going to see if they can strike first and get points on the board before Chapel Hill can. We're going to see that Chapel Hill defense and see what they can do against this Gilmer offense.
If they're going to go ahead and take it down to the field for our national anthem. And we'll be right back for the kickoff here on NetSN.
Our national anthem is being presented by the Gilmer Buckeye Band under the direction of Eric Bret.
So Chapel Hill will be kicking off here to Gilmer. And Keith, what are you looking for here in this first quarter from both teams?
Well, I'm looking for a lot of offense, honestly. I'm looking for both teams to come out and throw the ball a lot. I'm looking for some speed on both sides of the ball, and I'm hoping that we see a lot of touchdowns, honestly. I want a good first game of the season for us here in Gilmer, and I think we're going to see a lot of offense today.
Yeah, all touchdowns tonight are sponsored by our touchdown sponsor for the season, Precision Scanning Services. Hector Garcia, we'd like to thank him for that, and he's hoping for a lot of touchdowns tonight.
Oh, yeah, I am sure. But it's going to be got a good crowd on both sides. Looking across here at the Chapel Hill faithful over there have piled up here in Gilmer.
Kicking off for Chapel Hill, number 32, Aiden Campos. Looks like to return. Looks like Gilmer's number 13, Jeremiah Noble, and I can't see the number on the far side there, Keith.
I can't either, but there we go.
Number one.
Will Henderson. There we go.
All right. So Noble. And he's got a little room outside. He's going to get almost to the 40. Looks like maybe around the 38, 39-yard line.
Connor Griffin on the stop for the Bulldogs.
So Gilmer will get the ball in pretty good territory to start the game. Last year, the Chapel Hill defense was much improved from the season before, and Coach McFarland's got some solid pieces on that defense returning, so he's been really pleased with the way they've looked in the scrimmages, so we'll see if they come out here. And you got Caden Tennyson in at quarterback for Gilmer here on 1st and 10. He's going to throw a little short screen pass, and that's number 3, Tate. And he is going to get all the way down inside the 5. And that's going to
Mayfield. We have a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be a horse collar there on the tackle, I believe, Keith. And that is not what you want to see if you're Chapel Hill. But Gilmer, one play, and they're 1st and goal.
And that was a short little dunk pass about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. And Tate just took it and went all the way down. Javen Mayfield chased him down, but had to commit that foul there. Personal foul with a horse collar.
So here we go for Gilmer. Will be 1st and goal at the, looks like the 6-yard line.
Here's the snap.
Tennyson, hands off. And it's an easy touchdown for Will Henderson. Wow. And 2 plays and a touchdown for Gilmer, and it's exactly how Coach Metzel drew it up there, Keith.
It is, and that's what he wanted. He wanted have the ball first, get a quick strike, and that's exactly what we did. Told you we were going to have a lot of offense, and I didn't know it would just be 3 plays, but that's what it was. And they do a little razzle-dazzle on that.
Yeah. You've got
not really a swinging gate, but
you got Braden Pate here for the PAT. And it is good. So with 11:36 left to go here in the first quarter, Gilmer opens up a 7-0 lead. You're watching East Texas football on NetSN. We'll be right back, everyone. And Gilmer set to kick off. It'll be again Braden Pate kicking off for Gilmer. Back to receive for Chapel Hill. Looks like it's Greenlee and Dean. And then in the middle, can't see who that is in the middle.
Fumble on that one.
Number 5.
Tyrell Goss.
Goss there.
And he gets a little craziness there. Woo.
A little extracurricular there, no call. As Chapel Hill's going to start on their own.
Looks like 11 maybe?
Yeah, 10 or 11. We'll see.
10 and a half. We'll do 10 and a half.
Right in between there. And so
not good field position if you're the Bulldogs.
Yep. So we'll see Chapel Hill returning 9 starters from last year's state semifinal offense here, and the two you want to watch tonight is the backfield of Brisbane and Stewart. We'll see if they get started early here on first down. Hand off Stewart. He up the middle, carrying tacklers. He's going to get about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play.
Looks like Castillo, number 2, and a bunch of others brought him down. Gained of about 5, looks like, on that one. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
So Brisbane in the gun. Stewart to his left. Hands off to Stewart again. He's got a big hole. And he bounces outside, still on his feet.
Good job. And he
carrying a tackler all the way down to the 40-yard line of Chapel Hill.
I believe that was number 9, Alex Sims, the outside linebacker for the Buckeyes that was kind of riding the back.
He should charge him for that ride, Keith, because he drug him about 3 or 4 yards on his back.
Has a good run by Stewart on that one.
So 1st and 10.
Good hole on the outside. There's a toss.
That's going to be Mayfield. As he going to pick up about 10. They're going to mark him. They're going to give him the first down. So 10 yards there on the end around.
And a good little toss there by Brisbane over to Mayfield. And another first down.
So 1st and 10. Toss back. Stewart goes out to the left side. It's got a little hole around in. Good tackle there by number 6, Connor Dodd for Gilmer, and Chapel Hill's just chipping away.
And I like what they're doing. They're going on both sides of the ball. They're not just pounding one side. They're kind of alternating one to the other, and it's kind of throwing Gilmer off balance a little bit. Yeah,
they're using the wide side here a lot. You got 4 wide receivers now on this near side to us on the side, and Brisbane's going to keep it. He's up the middle. He's got some room.
And this is where he's dangerous.
Shakes a couple of tacklers. Another tackler still on his feet.
And one man
still on his feet. Finally drugged down at the 28-yard line.
And a little shove there by Castillo. He didn't like what Brisbane did, but the Bulldogs did as he gets another first down and more.
I wouldn't either because he made them look very dumb there.
He really did.
I don't know how many tackles they broke, but it was somewhere along the lines of 6-7 there.
Yeah. And he was just bouncing and weaving out of that one. Did a good job, though. And he's very dangerous when he decides to tuck that ball and go.
So 1st and 10, Chapel Hill. Ball on the 27. End around to Dean. He's got a little crease. And he picks up maybe 4 or 5 yards on the play on first. Nice little carry by Dean.
He tries to split the defenders, but Grayson Bates didn't fall for it and took him down after a gain of 5.
So just what you want to do here. And well, you've got number 60 outside, Pablo Martinez, out here on the outside. This is going to be interesting, Keith.
Oh, yeah.
So
this is different.
Yeah. See if they run a little screen out here and use him as and they do. And Gilmer's all over that play.
They read that like a book. And a great job by the Gilmer defense. Number 17, Grayson Bates, once again in there on the stop. Along with, I believe, number 20, Will Gross.
Yeah, it's going to back him up to about
22. Butler, number 22, was in there.
It's going to back him up to about the 25 here. It's going to be 3rd down and about 8 yards on the play. See what Chapel Hill's got on 3rd and long. They're going to hand to Stewart. He's got a hole. Ooh, nice little juke move by Stewart.
Side.
Oh.
2-yard line. Let's see where they're going to spot it, though, Bret.
Man, that was a nice move by Stewart there.
And it looks like they're going to spot it at the 3-yard line, but a good little fake move, and I think the shoes are still left in the ground over there.
Yeah,
by the defender.
I don't know what happened, but he went to move, and Stewart moved, and Gilmer could not move.
Man. That was a great job.
We'll see if they give it back to Stewart here on 1st and goal.
And the clock's running. He's saying he went down inbounds, so the clock is still going as Brisbane looks over to the sidelines to get the play.
So here we go. I would be really surprised if the ball was thrown here. I'm thinking it's either Brisbane or Stewart.
I think he's going to hold. I was going to say, I think he's going to sneak it up the middle.
And Brisbane, I believe he's in. Let's see. I don't see a signal. He's still fighting, and he got in. What a run by Demetrius Brisbane. He didn't give up on that one. And the junior's first drive on offense this year results in the first Chapel Hill touchdown.
That was a great drive by the Bulldogs. And just like you said, chipped away. I don't think there was a pass on that except for that one right over here
it didn't work.
That didn't work. But a good running game there by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're able to use several different players. Oh, and a block kick.
And Jamar Bird on the block for the Buckeyes.
That's a big play.
And so a great offensive start by the Bulldogs, but they couldn't get the kick through.
So I was going to say they used a lot of guys there on that run. You had Brisbane, Stewart, Mayfield, Dean. They all got carries there. So they spread the ball around and kind of just slowly moved it down. So
yeah, and they're utilizing because Gilmer, the defense is going to be keying on Stewart.
All right, well, 7:36 left here in the first. Gilmer still leads 7-6 right here on NetSN. Campo's set to kick off for Chapel Hill. And a little short kick. Going to be fielded by Gilmer. Muffed at the 25, but then able to stay on his feet there. That looked like that was number 9, Alex Sims.
And Trevor Brooks. Was that Trevor Brooks? No. Who's that? Bret, is that 18? I don't know. I can't tell who that is. It's kind of crunched up. Looked like Trevor Brooks, number 12, was the one who brought him down. It's hard to see some of these numbers, how they have their jerseys nowadays, especially when it's hot like this. They're kind of curling it up.
Yeah, they're trying to get all the air they can in those jerseys.
Yep.
Got to score early with 8:04 left in the first quarter. Lufkin over Legacy, 13-0.
That's an interesting score. Keep up on those.
So here we go. Gilmer with their second drive.
7.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
And they stopped the play before we started, and there's been movement there for Gilmer. We'll see if the ref confirms it. Oh, delay of game.
Delay of game.
Wow. It's hard to see the play clocks here. But they are on 0, so that'll back Gilmer up to their own 34-yard line. Will be 1st and 15.
So we'll try this again.
So here we go. Tennyson hands it off up the middle. Man.
Wide open lane.
Wow, Henderson, I'm sorry. With that, he just kind of busted through that hole.
He really did.
I didn't see him for a second, and then he just busted through. Nice job by the offensive line.
And Kendall Allen on that stop, he kind of just chunked him down, but he had to catch him from behind because of the hole that was left there in the middle. So right at 7 minutes here, you get the pump fake there.
Second and 6. Trevor Brooks with a sack.
Trevor Brooks does it. Good job. He came off the corner and just took that great job. Did a little move there.
Yeah, that was
got underneath.
Great job by Brooks there, and
it's a loss of about 4?
Yeah,
5.
It's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 for Gilmer here, and we'll see if that pass rush for Chapel Hill comes calling here on 3rd and long.
And they're showing a little bit of a
and there he comes.
Here he comes again, and
good
job.
Pressure by Brooks forces a bad throw by Tennyson, and it's punt time.
It is punt time, and that puts the Bulldogs back there in a position to take the lead on this if they have a good offensive play there. Good job by the defense of the Bulldogs, bringing pressure off the corner again.
Looks like
And Gilmer over on the side looking like they're having a little conversation. Not really sure.
no, there's no conversation. That may be about who's going to punt this time, but it looks like it's going to be the kicker, Braden Pate, Javen Mayfield back to receive the punt for Chapel Hill.
And deep snapper ready. There brings it, and there's the punt. It's going to be on the right side. Hits around the 30-yard line.
Picked up by Mayfield.
Mayfield takes the outside.
Oh, he got some room.
He's got a little room. Got some blockers. And
nice.
taken down.
Nice return by Mayfield. Just
Lucas,
across the 30-yard line, maybe about the 31-32 there.
Right, I believe number 75, Lucas Cano, on the stop, one of the big boys on the line, came down. I was a deep snapper, Bret, so I know how that feels, getting down there and being able to get there and get that tackle.
Does it feel good to make that tackle?
It does. It feels really good.
Don't get to do it a whole lot.
You don't, because usually by then you got the fast guys that get to go down there and get that tackle there.
So
I know how it feels that Lucas down there being happy he gets to make that tackle.
So 6:07 left here in the first, and Chapel Hill starts their second possession here. That first possession capped off by a Brisbane touchdown run. Brisbane. Actually, Stewart took the snap and faked the Brisbane there. They got me faked out.
A little direct snap to Stewart there, and he carries. He gets stopped right at about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and then pushes about 5 Buckeyes, about 4 more yards.
Yeah, he's got 2nd and 5 now, so nice 5-yard gain there by Stewart. Man, that was tricky there, Keith. I like that. Handoff this time to Stewart, and it's going to be taken down. Looks like they're going to mark him right at the 40. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2.
And we got a whistle blown.
See,
A helmet was off.
Yeah, Dylan Drummond's helmet came off there. The Chapel Hill offensive
So
lineman.
he's going to have to go out for a play.
I'm not all for that rule sometimes, Keith. Just because, like, if someone else yanks your helmet off, is that fair that you have to go off? I don't know. I'm not a big proponent of that rule. I don't know if you take it off yourself, I get it, but it's like you just take somebody's helmet off on purpose.
You never know. Brisbane up the middle. He keeps
Wow,
it.
Brisbane.
He is through. This is where he's
30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Nobody can get him. Touchdown. Bulldogs.
So Demetrius Brisbane with a huge touchdown run. And he's got 2 drives this year and 2 touchdowns, Keith.
Man.
It's a pretty good percentage.
I think it is. And like I said earlier, when he tucks that ball, he sees it and he goes.
So in for the PA attempt is Campos. Kick is up.
And he
It
gets
is
that
good. So with 5:05 left here in the first quarter of play, Chapel Hill leads 13-7 right here on NetSN. Back with Campos, set to kick off to Gilmer. That's going to be fielded by Noble. Makes a little juke move at the 20. Got a little room. Flag down, though. Looks like it could be coming back. Noble's still on his feet, down to the 45-yard line. Did you see the flag there, Keith?
I did see the flag. I think it's going to be on holding on Gilmer. I saw a couple of it, but there was a big one down here towards the Gilmer sideline. Number 10, Quentin Greenlee was on the tackle there for the Bulldogs. That's a face mask.
Oh, and it's on Chapel Hill, so they're going to tack that on. It's a big penalty.
That is a very big penalty, and I did not see that, but I did see a lot of jersey grabbing, but maybe they're letting them play.
I honestly saw a lot of Noble juking and moving.
Yeah.
I was watching him because I thought he was going to break through there for a second.
He did do a good job of that.
So now great field position here for Gilmer as they're on Chapel Hill's 41-yard line to start 1st and 10 with just under 5 minutes to go here in the first. It's been a long first quarter.
Really has.
Tennyson in the gun. He hands off. It's like an outside run there by Webb.
He was pushed out of bounds by number 54, Jamari Davis. So that was a good job of kind of stretching that play, and that's what you want from your defensive linemen. You want them to push them and stretch that play all the way to the sideline, and don't give them room. Don't let them cut back, and don't give them room to get that corner. Good job by the defense.
Yeah, when you got speed like that, force them out of bounds. So Tennyson in the gun. They're going to shift. A couple of guys move to the right side of the formation. Chapel Hill kind of shifts with them a little. Handoff. Henderson outside the right, and nice play by Chapel Hill.
And a good job. Looks like the safety came in. Javen Mayfield. There was a defensive back. He just came flying through.
We got somebody's helmet here, Keith. I don't know whose that is.
I'm not really sure. Is it a...
It is a helmet, right?
Yeah. Is somebody walking around with the...
Somebody leave their helmet on the field?
Did he get hit that hard? He forgot his helmet. There it is.
That's interesting.
Who was that? Kendall Allen.
Wow.
He just decided to take, he needed some water.
I guess so. Handoff up the middle again to Henderson. Breaks a couple tackles on the outside and shoved out of bounds.
Tyrell Goss on that play, and Henderson got that stiff arm there, and Goss's head goes back just a little bit. It was a great play on both sides, but Tyrell put him outside.
That sun finally kind of going away out there, Keith, and it's still steamy, I'm sure, out there tonight.
Oh, yeah, that temperature has been crazy all week. A couple of games got pushed back, but here it's not too bad with that sun going behind the press box here. Kind of cooling a little bit.
Tennyson in the backfield with Sims. He's going to run it this time and nowhere to go.
And once again, a good job by the defensive line. I didn't see really who pushed it out because really the entire defense, linebackers and defensive line, once again, well coached, pushing them.
It's almost like they just shifted to the outside. And
it's really good because the offensive line, when you're doing it, they try to get on the outside. But if you watch that defensive line, they do a great job of not letting them. They take that step back and they just maneuver and they know where they're going. A great, well-coached team so far from what I can see on that defensive front.
So Tennyson, second down and about 6 on the play. Takes a snap. Hands off up the middle, untouched into the end zone. That's going to be Alex Sims for the touchdown.
And that was just a big hold. That looked like it was an assignment issue there on the defensive side. They just didn't. They gapped it wrong.
Yeah,
that just happens.
That was a big hole. I think I could have ran through that hole, Keith.
I think I could have walked through that hole, Bret.
That's one of those times where the running back goes and gives his big guys up front a pat on the back. Thank you.
So we got a little bit of a timeout there, Bret, don't we? I hear some whistles blowing.
There's a flag on the play on the extra point here, Keith. We'll see what the referee says happened here. It's like unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on Chapel Hill, an unsportsmanlike conduct. Now, I think they may take it on the kickoff. I don't know why they would take it here.
I'm kind of wondering what it was. I didn't
see anything.
I mean, people were getting set up. I didn't really see what was going on, but I'm sure words were spoken.
Yeah.
This is a heated game, Bret. It's a high these two teams, they don't like each other very much.
No, especially after last year, the whole planting the flag in the middle of the field at Chapel Hill. So there's a little bit of, and the missed extra point on the other side. So that keeps the game tied here with 4:20 to go. We have a tie game here on NetSN. We'll be right back. So what I had done a while ago. And Gilmer kicks off. It was a short kick there, and of course we had the penalty there on the extra point, so it was a close kick there by Gilmer, and Chapel Hill fielded it.
And I believe it was number 88, Jackson Cummings, on the reception. Good hands, and that's what you want on that front part for just that reason.
He did a good job. He just got his hands up, got it, and took down the ball. That was it.
And did a great job. We're going to run some scores with you here shortly and see how things are going tonight around East Texas.
So we got Chapel Hill up the middle, and that's Greenlee this time, and the handoff from Brisbane. Nice job by the backup tailback, Quentin Greenlee. Pickup of about 6 there.
And the Bulldogs still doing that run and doing it pretty well.
Hey, it ain't broke, don't fix it, they say, Keith.
Hey, right now, Pine Tree up on Van in the first quarter, 7-0.
Ooh, tough catch there as Brisbane tries to connect with Mayfield on the left side there. Couldn't quite get it to him.
And Amari Morton on the coverage. He was kind of right there. I think the pass is a little bit too high. Of course, Morton's going to take credit for that. Any good defensive back worth their salt's going to do that, Bret. They're going to take credit for a missed pass there.
Our other game on Texan on NetSN is Tatum Center, 14-8 Tatum right now. So
here's the danger.
Oh, and Brisbane breaks a couple tackles, spins off another one, and finally taken down, crosses the 40. Looks like you're going to mark him down about the 38-yard line there.
And that's Trillian Butler for Gilmer with a good little stop there, keeping Brisbane from breaking out and doing some real damage. The big one here is in White Oak right now. Troop up 28-0 just in the first quarter. There's 6 minutes left in that one. And that's a little shocker from me right now.
So up the middle of Stewart, and a nice gain. It's like about 14 or 15-yard gain there for Stewart, and that's another first down for Chapel Hill.
Does he get extra yardage for carrying about 5 Buckeyes with him there for 5 or 6 yards?
I think he gets some bonus points. I don't know what that means. I think that's, was it those old school arcade games where you get, like,
does he get coins or something when he picks it up? Athens Brownsboro tied at 7 with 4 minutes left in the first.
Reverse handoff. That looks like that's going to be number 15 of Chapel Hill.
And the clock's going to keep running.
DeMarcion Blackhawk.
And Ector and number 32, Braden Pate, in on the tackle there. You heard the Gilmer fans yelling holding Let me tell you something about football. There's holding on every single play.
Yeah, you could call that every time.
So the referees are not going to call that every time. I love how fans just, it's on every play. Sorry. As a former lineman, it's on every play.
And Stewart breaks outside, following his blockers inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. Nice run by Ricky Stewart.
And that's going to be a better save by Aaron Bell. He ran over there from the backside, inside linebacker position there, and saved a touchdown.
And Chapel Hill's ground attack has just been tough to stop so far for Gilmer here, as they're now looking to get another touchdown. Brisbane, shovel pass, touchdown. Javen Mayfield with a shovel pass catch up the middle, walks in the end zone for the Chapel Hill Bulldog touchdown.
And once again, Brett, only 2 passes. This is not the Bulldog offense that we've seen in the past.
Technically, that's a pass.
Because
that's a shovel.
On paper.
That's the easiest touchdown pass that will happen this year for Brisbane. Campos on for the point after. Kick is up, and it's good. With 1:56 left here in the first. Chapel Hill leads 20-13 right here on NetSN.
Hey, Brett, I want to do a really quick update up in at the Grapevine Faith Brookhill game. Brookhill is down 7-0 with 6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Campos set to kick, kicks deep. Going to be fielded here by number 13, Noble. Looking to make some tacklers miss, and that time he did not.
And Jalen Smith in on the stop. Let me tell you, we got a flag on the play. And it's probably going to be against the Bulldogs again, Brett, for unsportsmanlike conduct. These refs are a little bit on them, even though both sides are doing it. And I'm not going to say it's a little against bias, but it's a little biased looking so far. I've seen shoving and yelling and hitting by both sides, but it's just getting called on the Bulldogs right now.
Well, you get to the point where you've got to just give a sportsmanlike conduct penalty to both teams.
Yeah.
And just let them, warn them, hey, we're not going to tolerate this. And
by the way, update, Troop up 35-0 now.
Yeah, so Sam Wells and those Tigers on a roll.
Yeah.
They're looking to climb up our polls. Making a statement tonight in White Oak.
Oh, somebody got disqualified, and I believe they said it was number 10. That's going to be Quentin Greenlee.
Wow, that's
of the Bulldogs. I don't remember. I couldn't hear what the penalty was.
Yeah.
But all I heard was by rule he was disqualified, and it looks like the referee is going to go have a conversation with Coach Reardon, maybe.
And that's the Bulldogs' backup tailback. So
yeah. But he didn't make, and the referee did not make any he didn't call us unsportsmanlike. He didn't do a thing. He just said what he said and said that the player was disqualified. So we'll try to get better answers as soon as we can on that.
All right, so Gilmer starts at their own 30, 1st and 10. Tennyson in the gun. Handoff up the middle.
Good job by the Bulldogs there.
See, that handoff went to Henderson that time.
And I believe I saw Isaiah Collins in there, I believe, making that stop. Got a couple other Bulldogs in there.
Tennyson in the gun. Hand off. And that time, the Bulldogs stacked up Henderson. And
that's going to be,
you got to be careful there, because I was going to say is the whistle blows. Chapel Hill's got to be careful. They've already had a player get disqualified. The refs are looking for stuff now.
Right.
So that's very risky.
Henry Thurkill and Trevor Brooks making the Gilmer fans a little upset there by making that stop and shoving him back.
So Tennyson scrambled around the pocket, rolls right and hit right away, and then smothered by a couple other Bulldogs, Keith.
So a good job there. I believe that's number 2, Jabari and Cook. He set him up, and the other 2 knocked him down. I couldn't see who they were. They were both on the ground.
I think that was Day Ross and number 42, Matthew Walker. So it looked like there, Keith.
So, yeah, Cook set him up and did a good job. He, once again, stretched it out and pushed the quarterback out to the outside, and Tennyson didn't have anywhere to go.
I can tell you don't want to meet Day Ross on a play like that. He's going to put the hammer on you. So 4th down for Gilmer. They're going to punt the punt. And back to receive is Mayfield. He's going to let it go. And the ball's going to be down by Gilmer at the Chapel Hill 32-yard line. So they'll start, or 37-yard line, excuse me. They're going to start there 1st and 10.
And Bret, real quick, before Kendall Allen was in a little extracurricular activity there with number 76. I don't know. I don't have a 76, but anyway, they were down here having some fun, and I believe we have a call on that.
Man.
So I don't know what was going on. I didn't see a flag.
You know, we talked about that these teams don't like each other. Yeah. I think we're seeing that here in the first quarter.
And the reason I saw it is the fans started yelling, and I looked down, and, of course, Kendall is walking off kind of with his hands in the air. There was a flag. I don't know what was called. Again, that referee is not making. I guess he's thinking that saying it over the speaker is going to work. So we don't know what the calls are.
Well, it's on Chapel Hill because they're backing them up.
Yeah.
So let's see where they spot the ball here. So 23. So they must have had it at the 30, like a 38. So That's a 15-yard penalty. So now they're at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 here. And you got 4 receivers to the far side for Chapel Hill, and Brisbam's in the gun. Handoff. Believe that's Stewart. I can't fully verify, but it's going to be up the middle. Looks like he's going to get a gain of about 7. We'll see if he comes out of the stack there. Do you see him? Maybe it isn't Stewart. Maybe I think that may be Cook, number 2, at tailback.
Yeah, and the quarter's over. But they weren't calling it. It was weird. But, yeah, Stewart took, once again, had about 6 Buckeyes with him. Great, and took him about 4 yards.
Well, that was Cook yards. That time.
Oh, it was Cook, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was Stewart originally, but I couldn't see the number until he came out of the pile, and it was Dabo Cook.
And I didn't see who on the Gilmer side, because it's just there's so many being.
But he also carried him, so.
Right. And for what to look like, the Bulldogs have spent some time in the weight room over the summer.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Well, we're through 1 quarter of play here in Gilmer. Chapel Hill leads Gilmer 20-13. We'll be right back on NetSN.
Welcome home to Gilmer High School class of 2003.
Here we go.
So Brisbane back to pass and completes one to Cameron Kelly at the 40-yard line. Good enough for a Chapel Hill first down.
And I believe is the second, or is that the second completed pass they've had this game?
Well, they had the touchdown pass that we talked about earlier, the shovel pass.
Sorry,
that does count.
I don't count that. But that
Quarterbacks love that one,
I
Keith.
know. It's a granny pass is what I call it.
So 1st and 10, ball at the Chapel Hill 40, Brisbane in the gun. Hand off, Stewart, got a lot of room. Cuts it outside. Down the sideline, tripped up by Gilmer.
And that's, looks like, is that Jerry Dean, a linebacker, and that's what you call, Bret, a shoestring tackle.
That is a shoestring tackle. I like that.
And that was a holding on for dear life. And praying he goes down.
Update there. Grapevine Faith up 21-0 on Brook Hill with 6:32 left in the second quarter. And ball carry there by Brisbane. Picks up about 2 yards.
And Amari Morton was not fooled on that. He came in from the cornerback position and took Brisbane down a little bit. Not after, not until he got about 3 or 4 yards on the play, but he did read that one really well there by the Buckeyes coming in from the backfield there.
So, Cook in the backfield with Brisbane on this possession. Brisbane, pass, complete. That's going to be to number 14, Jonah Reardon.
And a good catch by Reardon to give the Bulldogs another first down. I'm trying to see the guy for the Buckeyes. I believe it was number 7, Brandon Webb, the safety. He came in there. He was actually right there, but Reardon did a good job.
Brisbane, throw into the end zone, and it looks like it's picked off.
And I saw incomplete.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I saw a referee go incomplete on that.
He must have dropped it. Oh, it's very close to interception there. Look from here. It was hard to see on that end. We're kind of on the far end here, looking through a couple of different mirrored here. Kind of hard to see, but
a little awkward.
But break there for Brisbane as the ball bounces. Shovel pass. Stewart, lots of room. He's going to get in there easy for the Chapel Hill. Oh, no. Wow, I thought he had it there, Keith.
He must have been at the 1-inch line there if they didn't call him.
Yeah, Gilmer did a great job of closing the gap. I thought he had it easy there.
I didn't even see who tackled him. I was thinking it was good. I was looking at the referee thinking he was going to do the touchdown. And
yeah, and looks like
for assuming.
Brisbane's probably going to keep here, give it to Stewart, and he does give it to Stewart. And we're looking for a signal, and the far side does. Signal, touchdown, Chapel Hill. Ricky Stewart from less than a yard, and Chapel Hill moves ahead 26-13, PAT pending.
And once again, the Bulldogs and actually they mixed in some passes that time, which I believe is going to throw Gilmer off even more.
So Campos in for the PAT. Snap, hold good, a little low on the kick, but it is good. With 9:43 left in the first half, Chapel Hill extends their lead over Gilmer 27-13 right here on NetSN.
Hey, Brett, I got an update for you from Van, Texas. Pine Tree up over Van in the second quarter, 17-7.
Ooh.
Good game there.
Chapel Hill will be hosting Van next week. Keith, I'll be here on the call on that one, and you'll be at Brook Hill.
I will.
For their home opener. So Campos set to kick off. Deep kick there, fielded by Tate. And he breaks a couple tackles, and he's got a hole, and he's got room. And he's going to go all the way for a Gilmer touchdown. Eric Tate with a huge play for Gilmer.
And that was just a good hole, a good blocking scheme by Gilmer. They must have seen something earlier. Chapel Hill, they've had a couple of opportunities, Gilmer has, to do that, and they just took advantage of the laxed coverage by the kickoff team of Chapel Hill, and a great job by Gilmer to get that touchdown.
Yeah, Chapel Hill had him kind of contained, and he just got that small gap, and that's all he needed, and there wasn't anybody left to take him out.
No, there was no, he saw nothing but green all the way. Good job by Gilmer.
So Gilmer's looking to get the PAT, kind of late run in there on the kick team unit.
And I love the little swing and gate thing. I don't understand the purpose of it, but then again, I'm not a coach.
Yeah, maybe one of these days they'll fake it here.
Maybe, and I think that's why they do it.
And Pate on for the kick, and it's good. So now with 9:26 left in the first half, the lead is now 7 for Chapel Hill, 27-20. We'll be right back on NetSN. And Gilmer set to kick off to Chapel Hill. Now, I feel like we just were doing this a second ago,
I believe so. Hey, I got another update for you really quick.
Okay.
One of our teams that we enjoy doing, Lindale, is hosting Kaufman. They're up 14-6 in the first. That was our last update. So the Eagles over there doing a good job.
Kickoff by Pate. Fielded at the back. That is going to be Laylock.
And that's just cheap. Number 6, Connor Dodd was on the ground just kind of sitting in wait and just reached up and grabbed him. Great job by Dodd to make that
tough.
tackle.
That's tough.
And to do it from the ground was a great job.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he did a good job there. You don't see that very often. Just sitting. He was in the seated position and just kind of reached up and tackled him. It was a good job.
Tackling from the ground is very difficult.
Yes, it is not. It is a skill that will serve him well.
We talked about points, Keith. There's been a lot so far. We got 47 points here. We're not even halfway through this first half yet. Oh, Brisbane spins off and ends
a
up
late hit there, but it wasn't called.
Only losing 2 on the sack. Well, that's tough to do to make that tackle, that initial tackle on Brisbane.
Yeah, you had 44 come in a little bit after, but no call on that. But, yeah, he lost 2 on there, and Gilmer seems to have a little bit of life in him here. So 2nd and 12. Stewart with the pitch. Looking for some room. Cuts out, breaks a couple of tackles. Crosses the 40. And going to be down about the 41-yard line for a nice run there by Stewart. And a good job by Stewart. Aiden Arterberry, number 40, was in on the stop and did a good job, especially, with Stewart running as fast as he does.
Yeah, he kind of does that stutter step and stops and lets you go by.
But if you looked on that, Brett, there was a wall of Buckeyes that didn't let him back in.
Yep. Fake to Stewart. Brisbane keeps. Spins off a tackle, looking for a block. Didn't find it, and he found a couple other guys, and they were in the wrong color jerseys, Keith.
Yeah, and his teammate, I don't know who was in front of him.
That was Dean.
Dean just ran past 3 Buckeyes and left Brisbane out to dry.
I think Brisbane was looking for a block.
He was. He was just like, what are you doing? And he was kind of like tuck and go.
So 2nd down and 5. Ball on the 46-yard line. Handoff. Stewart takes a couple of cuts. Ball comes loose, and Gilmer picks it up.
It's going to be Brandon Webb.
And he brings it down all the way inside Chapel Hill territory, down at the 35. So Gilmer will take over with 7:27 left in the half, looking to get back-to-back touchdowns and tie this game here, Keith.
And that's just not what we want to see. It's remnants of last year, and turnovers is not what you want. And Chapel Hill is not needing to get into that habit again.
No, the turnovers really killed them last year, and it doesn't take much. This Gilmer team just, they didn't quit. They were down a while ago by 2 scores. Immediately answered with a kickoff return. Now forced a fumble. And Tennyson pass, incomplete. Intended for number 3 to Eric Tate.
And Mayfield on the coverage, he was coming in hot.
Yeah,
he was flying in.
Yeah, if Tate would have caught that, I don't know if he would have hung on to it or not, because you're right, Mayfield was coming for that. He was going to lay the wood there.
He was excited about it too.
So 2nd down. Tennyson right back to pass, rolls high, overthrows Tate on the far side, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. So Chapel Hill's defense looking to crank down and help the offense out here, Keith.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They're going to have to make sure, though, that they keep their head about them. They make sure that they keep everybody in front of them. If they don't need to let any of these Buckeye receivers behind them. Keep everybody in front of them as best they can.
So 3rd and 10. We'll see if the pass rush of Chapel Hill can get to Tennyson, or if Tennyson can get the ball away here. Boy, he hands it off. Surprisingly, to Henderson around the outside. He's got nothing but green grass ahead of him. Touchdown, Will Henderson. 35-yard touchdown run for Henderson.
And a good job by Henderson getting around that corner. Great blocking in front of him. Will attribute for that touchdown for Gilmer. And they're right back in this thing.
So they're a point after touchdown away from tying this game up.
And once again, Brett, a turnover has cost Chapel Hill a big time lead here.
And the kick was good. We'll see. They blew it dead. Let's see what the call is. Oh, they want the point. Looks like they're going to take the point, so it was offsides on Chapel Hill. Gilmer will decline that penalty and take the point and tie the game at 27.
And Brett, I don't want to be this guy, but I don't think I have seen a penalty on Gilmer yet this game.
Yeah, Gilmer's always been a very disciplined team, so sometimes those disciplined things, like the little silly things that can make mistakes, and that's got Chapel Hill tonight. They've got a lot of penalties and then the fumble. So with 7:09 left, we got a tie game here in Gilmer. You're watching high school football on NSN. Trying to be. Back here on NSN, as Pate is set to kick off.
And the Bulldogs need to keep their heads up. They're kind of out there looking down, Bret, and it's just the second quarter. I mean, it's not anything to get your head down about. So we're going to wait on the kick. It's that Braden Pate for Gilmer to kick.
And Pate kicks off. Fielded by Chapel Hill. That's Javen Mayfield on the return. Kind of cuts it outside to the far side. Runs over a Gilmer player and falls down around the 28-yard line of Chapel Hill.
And that was a good job by, Bentley Tracner to stand his ground and bring Mayfield down.
Got a score update from our Brook Hill guard. They've just put up their first points on the board, so now they're Tate Trail 21-7 with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. So long drive there to Grapevine tonight for Brook Hill, and they're able to get some points on the board to a tough Grapevine Faith team. So Chapel Hill looking to get back ahead here as Brisbane keeps. Cook leads blocks, and Brisbane got a lot of room. Crosses the 50, 40. Tripped up a little, shakes a couple of Gilmer defenders at the 20. Still on his feet. And thrown out of bounds at about the 15-yard line or so. We'll see where they mark it, Keith.
And you have to give Alex Sims, number 9, the credit for that one, because if he hadn't have gotten a little bit of the shoe of Brisbane back on the 30-yard line, he would have been in the end zone, and we would have been calling touchdown right now.
Ooh. He's just so slippery.
And Micah Easley, I believe, was in on the tackle as well, the safety for Gilmer. But a great job by Brisbane to get out there. And again, once I said it before, he's dangerous when he gets out and tucks that ball and gets past that line of scrimmage.
So Brisbane will take the snap in the gun. Debo Cook, the tailback to his left. And hands off to Cook. He's got a lot of room. Cuts it back outside a little bit. Cook could walk in the end zone for the Chapel Hill touchdown. Debo Cook puts Chapel Hill up 33-27, point after pending.
And that was a good job. He saw a guy, once again, a good little fake there to get to that outside corner. Uses the yardage that he had from the hash marks to the sidelines with nobody there.
So in for the point after is number 30. That is Alvaro Mendez. So they're giving him a little run here at the point after touchdown. And it is good. So with 6:34 left, Chapel Hill takes the lead back over Gilmer, 34-27. We got a shootout here in Gilmer. Don't go anywhere right here on NSN. Back here in Gilmer, Chapel Hill just took the lead, 34-27. Campos kick off, a little pooch high kick out of bounds on the Chapel Hill sideline. That's not really what you wanted there, Keith.
Not really sure what he was thinking on that. But he put it on outside, get that penalty.
So they're going to get the ball. It is Gilmer at, let's see where they mark it here. So you haven't seen him spotted yet. They're talking to the coach.
Going to see if they wanted to re-kick it or not, I guess.
Yeah, our other game going on NSN tonight is Tatum and Center. Center leads Tatum in a good one, 29-27, with 7 minutes left in the first half. So, want to check on that game as well at our friends over at Center.
Over in Brownsboro, Brett, it's tied 14-14 with Athens there.
Ooh, little close. That's a real rivalry right there, right down the road.
It really is, yeah.
So 1st and 10 from the 30 for Gilmer. Handoff up the middle. And that is, again, number 1, Henderson. And he bounces outside as he easily picks up 15 there on first down and picks up the first.
Javen Mayfield running him out of bounds. I'm watching a little bit of the Bulldogs there. They're ducking their heads and diving. They're not making as good of form tackles as they were earlier in the game. And I don't know if they're getting tired or if they're just thinking that they got this thing.
Tennyson, handoff up the middle again to Henderson. He gets about to the 50-yard line. Got a score update here, Keith. We got Carthage 23, Kilgore 13. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the half. So Kilgore trying to stay with top-ranked Carthage.
Not bad. Matthew Walker for the Bulldogs on that last tackle, Brett.
And handoff again to Henderson. Drug down, and he'll pick up the first to about the 42-yard line. So they're going to mark it.
And that was Matthew Walker and Kendall Allen on that stop, and they did a good job. Walker coming in there from the defensive end position, and, of course, Kendall Allen and the defensive lineman in that middle there to make that stop. But a first down anyway for the Buckeyes.
So 1st and 10 for Tennyson. Back to pass. Looks to his right, going deep. One-on-one coverage, and no completion there. That's going to be Tate there. That was an intended receiver.
Tyrell Goss was on the coverage. He was in front of Tate by about 4 yards and kind of came back. Didn't really make a play. The ball was really thrown more out of bounds. Didn't have a play.
He was in good position, though.
He was in good position. If it was a little bit more in bounds, and he would have had a play on that ball, would have been good.
So Tennyson, 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle. Back to their backup tailback, Sims. And he picks up 9. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and a short 1.
And Kendall Allen loses his helmet again. He was on that tackle.
And he's got to get something on that helmet, Keith.
Yeah.
So Tennyson, hand up the middle to Sims, and the play is blown dead. And, of course, a lot of talking here. We got to get the teams separated.
Little extracurricular conversation down there, Brett.
Yeah, I don't know. They blew the play dead before it started.
Right.
And I think some players had already kind of made contact, and that didn't make it easier to get them separated here.
And it's hard to stop.
I think they were trying to say that they were trying to get Kendall Allen out of the game because he had no helmet. And Gilmer did not let Chapel Hill make the substitution there.
You have to give them time in order to do that.
So here we go again. A big 3rd and 1. Clock running, just over 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Still having some problems, and looks like the line judge is going to come over, or not sure. Looks like maybe someone called timeout.
I believe so. I'm not. He didn't say who, or didn't make even a gesture to who. But it looks like
they're going to give a timeout
Chapel
to
Hill.
Chapel Hill.
Yep.
So Chapel Hill takes a timeout with 4:59 left in the first half. We'll be right back on NSN. So it looks like Coach Reardon won that timeout, Keith, that he got Kendall Allen back in. It was actually a smart move there.
Very smart.
On this 3rd and short for Gilmer. Tennyson in the gun. Handoff. That's going to be number 9 again. That's Sims, and an easy first down. It's going to end up picking up close to 20 yards on the play. It's going to get the ball inside the 20 down to the 19.
And Davion Ross does a good job of stopping that one. Kendall Allen over pursued on the outside, which is what opened up that hole there on the outside of the line for the Buckeyes to get that first down.
So Sims getting the call this possession. This time it was a little inside shovel pass to Gilmer's number 24, Aviaton Ector, and that didn't go anywhere, Keith.
No, it did not, and I believe that was Goss. Is that who that is? Tyrell Gotten? Is that number 5? I can't.
5 is Goss, yes.
Yeah, I believe that was Tyrell Goss on the outside that made that stop. Good job getting penetration and a loss of a yard on that.
So I got a score for you. Carthage 23, Kilgore 20.
Holy
close
moly.
Close to the end of the first half. So Kilgore's he's not going to let Carthage just stomp them here today.
No.
So Tennyson, in and out of the hands of Tate. I thought he had that one, Keith.
And honestly, Brett, I think that was tipped at the line. I believe one of the linemen for the Bulldogs may have gotten a finger or two on it because the ball was a little
off. That may be why he had trouble with it, because it hit him in the hand still.
And it was a good pass coming out from what I could see. It just ended up a little bit behind him. But I do think one of the defenders, one of the front line for the Bulldogs, got a finger on it.
So here we go. 3rd down and just over 10 yards. Tennyson in the gun. Hands it off. That's Henderson, and he didn't even get touched. Touchdown, Gilmer. 19-yard run for Henderson, and they're a point away from tying the game.
And Gilmer just read that blitz on the outside perfectly. Once again, your defensive linemen and your linebackers over-pursued to the outside and left a wide-open gap for Henderson to run through and get that touchdown for Gilmer.
So Pate looking to tack on an extra point here and would tie the game at 34. And snap, holds down, and looks like it is no good for Pate. Wide right, Keith. That's a huge miss.
And that's the second one he's missed tonight.
So Chapel Hill still leads 34-33 with 3:51 left in the first. You're watching East Texas High School football on NetSN. We're back here on NetSN as Gilmer set to kick off again. Braden Pate. And a long line drive kick. And Dean fields it right at the end zone. It's going to come out, and he cuts up the middle. Got a little room at the 30. Got some free space. Almost up to the 50, but there is a flag back around the 35-yard line, Keith. Did you see anything?
I didn't see anything. Well, let me rephrase. I saw what could have been a block in the back by the Bulldogs.
We'll see what they call here as we go down to the field. So that penalty is on number 22, I believe, of the receiving team. I don't have a name on that particular number on the roster. Do you have one for Chapel Hill?
For Chapel Hill,
22 is blank on my roster.
I have Peyton Bonner,
Oh, Bonner. Okay.
number 22.
You must have a more updated roster than I do.
I'm just more special than you are,
I
Bret.
guess so. Well, I'm glad you had it.
They like me better than you, I
So
guess.
Bonner with the penalty on the hold. So it's going to put Chapel Hill back to about their own 25-yard line for 1st and 10 here. And they had the lead, looking to add to it with 3:40 left here. Handoff, Stewart up the middle. Makes a few cuts. Kind of weasels his way up to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5.
And a good stop by Jet Bates by Gilmer. Wondering, Bret, and kind of interested to see. The clock's running. Got 3.5 minutes left in the first half. They could lead by 1. I'm wondering how the Bulldogs are going to handle this drive here.
So Stewart up the middle. He's got some room. Rumbles across the 40 down to a 41. Another first down. Now, I know you said how do you handle it. If you score, do you score too fast? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering what you do.
You try to score
this
with
aspect.
You want to score with no time left on a perfect world.
Do you look at do you use the play clock to your advantage on this? Do you try to run as much time as you can?
Brisbane back to pass, looking deep. He's got a man down the sideline. Incomplete.
Good coverage by Gilmer. I can't read his number.
Yeah, I think that was
Was that
number.
Henderson?
I think that was intended for Cameron Kelly of Chapel Hill, number 8. Was that number 6 right here, maybe? Number 6 for Gilmer, I think, Keith.
That was Connor Dodd coming in from the safety position, but I do believe it was Will Henderson on the one-on-one coverage on the outside there.
So long shot averted there, and they go back to the ground. Stewart up the middle, across the 50, legs still moving, and he's got enough for another first down.
And Trey Lee on the tackle there gets the first down. And my dad always had this thing: is you go home with the one that brung you. And right now, the Bulldogs' running game has brought them this far. I know they're trying to get that, that big bomb there, but you don't need to bite off too much.
Yeah,
and put yourself in a position to get an interception.
Yeah, the clock's still rolling here. 2:20 left. Brisbane hands off. Again, it's Stewart. He crosses the 45 down to the 44-yard line.
Aaron Bell on the stop there. And Bret, I saw a little bit of an option look there by Brisbane and Stewart.
And I apologize. That's J-Bo Cook in at tailback now as they give Stewart a break.
But if you look, Brisbane was kind of watching to see how the coverage was going to be on the line.
Let's see. Brisbane keeps it up the middle. Looking for some room. It's going to gain a couple yards. Looks like they're going to mark him about the 42-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
And that was going to be Andrew Davis on the outside. No, I apologize. That wasn't Andrew Davis. That was Jeremiah Noble, number 13. The outside linebacker did a good job of keeping Brisbane in.
3. Brisbane through his hands. He has to run and retrieve it. Trying to shake some tacklers, and he's going to lose about 7 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down and 10.
And
clock rolling.
Might have an injured player. Nope. He was down for a while, Bret. That's why I said what I said, but he popped up.
Well, we got another. I think it's a competition between our other broadcast, Keith. The center now leads Tatum 37-35 with 6 minutes left in the first half. So they're trying to see who can outscore the other one.
Right. Gonna see how many points we can get.
Net us in a lot of points tonight.
And it looks as though, Bret, they're gonna maybe run the play clock down and maybe punt it off. What do you think?
We'll see. I mean,
using the clock to their advantage?
Do you risk giving the ball back to Gilmer with any time left on the clock? I don't think you do. We'll see what they go with, as Gilmer's going to call a timeout now.
Ah, good job by Gilmer.
Well,
and I honestly don't think he was going to punt. I think he was going to try to throw deep down the field, run the clock out more, because you had what looked to be about a 5-second. Well, I mean, you're going to run the play clock down all the way if you needed to, because your play clock's more than your regular clock, so you could have ran it all the way down to the end of the half.
Halftime score is Lufkin leads Tyler Legacy 25-7. We still, like I said, we have the Tatum Center score. That game's got quite a bit left, so if you want to watch some football and we get to halftime, slide on over to our YouTube channel at SN, or if you have our app, just hop on over to that game and check out the last half. We will have the halftime show live on our YouTube channel, video and audio for our band, Holler Drill Team fans of both teams. So stay tuned for that. If you're on Texan Live, hop over to the YouTube channel and to check that out. Been a good half so far, Keith. I mean, you couldn't ask for a closer game.
You really couldn't. And we said at the beginning, you're going to have a lot of offense. I asked for it. I got it.
So it's going to be Trevor Brooks back for their Chapel Hill's first punt of the game. He's going to be receiving the punt snap at about his own 36. Good punt by Brooks. And it's going to be marked out. Let's see where the sideline judge goes.
He hasn't stopped yet.
Still walking. He stops about the 15.
Looks like.
Pretty good punt there for Brooks. And we'll see if Gilmer tries anything or if they're just content to take a knee and go to the half here.
Well, you're down by 1. I mean,
I don't know that it's anything good can happen here. I mean, I guess you could, but
you could try.
If you throw it in the interception or fumble snap or something like that, you give Chapel Hill the ball right here.
I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah, they got twins to the right.
Yep, they got twins on both sides. You got receiver split. Those. You split 2 on each side, and Tennyson's in the gun. They snap it to him, and they just give it a draw up the middle to Henderson. And he crosses the 35 to about 37 with 6 seconds to go. We'll see what they do, and it looks like they're not in any hurry.
No, they're going to let it run out.
And they're going to take it to half. So, at the half here in Gilmer, as Chapel Hill 34, Gilmer 33. Stay tuned for the halftime show here on NetSN. We'll be right back.
evening and welcome to tonight's halftime festivities. Please give a hand to the Chapel Hill Bulldog Band and Highlighters Drill Team. The Highlighters are led onto the field by their officers. Officers from left to right are Lieutenant Jaylene Sandoval, First Lieutenant Desi Kissam, Lieutenant Julie Smith, Lieutenant Sadie Stewart, Lieutenant Kaylee Renteria, and in the center, Captain Georgia Blake. Social officers are Annette Argote, Rosalinda Fernandez, Sadie Tarango, Emily Vasquez, and head social officer Daphne Delgadillo. The Highlighters would like to thank their game day sponsor, House of Sunshine. Thank you for your support. And now, watch the Highlighters as they perform a flashy skirt routine to Kings and Queens. This week's Highlighter of the Week is Dami Arianes. Spirit Girl of the Week is Lainey Enriquez. The Highlighters are under the direction of Katie Hewitt and Allison Morange. Ladies and gentlemen, the best of the best, award-winning Chapel Hill Highlighters. And now, please direct your attention to the field as our Chapel Hill Twirlers perform. From left to right, Michaela Hill, Shakayla Brooks, Savannah Tucker, Mary Elena Cabrera, Paloma Perez, and Layla Moya. They'll perform a precision routine to Runaway Baby.
You see on that side.
can only hear us sometimes, but I don't know exactly. Yeah, I know. But sometimes I'll get extra loud. It's just a game. And y'all aren't very good at it. I would tell you
No, contain y'all now. Don't try to put me in this. I'm good. Wasn't no.
You ever get those thoughts like, what if you want to be distracted?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your 2023 Chapel Hill Bulldog Band.
Oh, I'm ready to see John. Oh yeah, John. If he falls, that would be. Oh, John's in the band. Yeah, if he falls, I would die.
The band is being led onto the field by drum majors Jordan Sayer and Zoe Massey, and senior head drum major Katie Kyle. The band's pre-contest drill tonight will include Fire Burst Fanfare and Invictus March.
Yeah, we're talking about giving it.
I'm busy Sunday. I have what's it called? It's practice. And I have Don't say that.
Bulldog Band would like to dedicate tonight's performance to the amazing community of Chapel Hill that supports their band at every turn. Directors for the Bulldog Band are Josh Kennedy, Christy Willis, Yvonne Garcia, William Ross, and head director Joe Hewitt. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the award-winning Gilmer High School Stars drill team, directed by Donna Lane and Taylor Rohde. Officers from left to right are Melanie Aguilar, Senior, Cynthia Lara, Senior, Emma Cormier, Junior, Chloe Dixon, Senior, and Caroline Jordan, Senior. Star of the week this week is Jennifer Soria. The Stars perform a tambourine routine to Lady Gaga's hit song, Born This Way. on your feet. And cheer for the Stars as they kick to the Gilmer Buckeye fight song. The Stars would like to thank everyone who purchased raffle tickets for the 2 orange seats donated by Mrs. Ruth Whiteside. The winner of these tickets is Mr. Greg Birch. Congratulations! We appreciate your support. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilmer Independent School District is proud to present one of the most decorated military marching bands in Texas, the pride of Upshur County, the UIL Sweepstakes Award-winning Gilmer Buckeye Band. And now we feature the GHS Majorettes as they perform a dazzling routine to Soak Up the Sun. The Gilmer Band Majorettes. The Buckeye Band is proud to march in the traditional American military style. Under the field command of drum majors Mia Stowe and Aubrey Gillen, the band steps off to Declaration Fanfare by Larry Ward and the University of North Dakota by Carl King.
That is literally the same thing. What is? Don't rerun for that. No. Yeah, we're on. Just ready, everybody. Have to wait. Something else. Don't do something. Someone. Someone. Whatever comments think about it. I thought you were the same thing as 4. 8 is going to make you like themselves. But you trying to make it work. That really good. Well, I don't know what it is. That makes it even worse. Ow. Because it's your little brother. No, we were doing something happened. I like my shaved legs. I should say, yeah, I don't really know. My legs are still the same. I didn't try it. You better try it. He almost started to and it's just those highs, so not much there. And then obviously, oh my, it was just a joke.
The Gilmer High School Buckeye Band. The Gilmer ISD bands are directed by Eric Gray, Brandon Garman, Chris Witt, Sarah Thompson, and Kaylee Cochran. The major sponsor is Allison Logan. Thank you for your courtesy attentions to all of tonight's halftime performances, and let's go Buckeyes! You won't be able to see it. He's on that side. Yeah, he's on that side.
didn't tell you about the physical. Oh, with your finger, bro? Yeah, man, I got fucking about it. Can't talk about that one. I can't hide that. No, I can't hide that from you. 100% sure.
You have our button.
And we're back here in Gilmer for second half action between Chapel Hill Bulldogs and the Gilmer Buckeyes. And Keith, we had a track meet there in the first half. I'm tired watching it, but I'm ready for some more.
I don't like running anyway, much less watching, but that was a fun first half. We talked about a lot of offense, and Bret, they did not disappoint, and I'm hoping that they did some changing in the half, and we're going to have a good second half as well.
So here we go as Gilmer kicking off to Chapel Hill to start the second half. And Cameron Kelly bobbles the ball. It's loose, and the Chapel Hill player comes up with it. That is going to be number 15. That's is that Blackman?
Demorian Blaylock.
Blaylock.
Yeah.
Blaylock.
And he did a good job. He watched that ball just pop out, and he pounced.
Well, here's the mistake that was made by Kelly there, Keith, is he let the ball bounce. He should have came up and either fair caught it or caught the ball. When you let that ball bounce on a kickoff like that, you just don't know where it's going to go.
Well, not only that, but a kickoff, they can get the ball past 10 yards. The kick team can get the ball, and it's going to be theirs. So that was a lapse in judgment by the Bulldogs.
So Chapel Hill with Brisbane. Sweep play by Mayfield, and he spins around, breaks some tackles, and picks up the first down. So great job by Mayfield. As noticeably, Stewart's not starting the second half. Is J-Bo Cook's going to start in the backfield with Brisbane.
And Braden Pate on the stop there. And something that we talked about at half, Bret, is the fact that it's the responsibilities are being spread around. But I don't know where Stewart would be in this situation.
And Cook takes the handoff, cuts it outside, got some space. There's green grass ahead. J-Bo Cook, track meet, and he wins it. 47-yard touchdown run from Cook. Man, he's got some speed there, Keith.
He really does, and he just squeaked through. He kind of slid sideways through a defender and a blocker of his own team and kind of made it up there and did a great job to the races there.
When we talk about how great of a back Ricky Stewart is, and you just put in Cook and nothing changes there as he races out for the touchdown. PAT up for Campos is good. So just 38 seconds into the third quarter here. Chapel Hill strikes first here in the second half. They lead Gilmer 41-33 right here on NetSN.
Wow.
And we're back here as Chapel Hill kicks off after a quick score by J-Bo Cook, 47-yard touchdown run.
A nice run on the outside by Cook, and as we said earlier, is there a flag there, Brett? I missed something here.
I think so. Couldn't see what they called.
We mentioned earlier, though, with Chapel Hill taking that, noticeably, Ricky Stewart did not start the second half for the Bulldogs on offense.
So here we go. Tennyson takes a snap, hands off, up the middle, and it's Henderson, and he's going to be taken down around the 35-yard line.
And looks like he was drugged down by number 5, and that was going to be Goss, and did a good job. He comes from the outside. Goss is one of the outside linebackers. Actually, a cornerback looks like out there on the outside.
So brings up second down and 5 on the 35-yard line. Snap, hand off. Looks like it's going to be Henderson again, and he's swarmed by a bunch of Bulldogs. Keith, you got some idea who that made that tackle?
The front line and middle linebackers of the Bulldogs. It was a lot of people.
I like to call it a pack of dogs.
It was a pack of dogs, and a good job to push him backwards. Now, he kept pushing his feet. Of course, forward progress got him further back than he landed.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up third down and 3 on the 37 for Gilmer. Handoff again up the middle for Henderson, and he's going to pick up the first. It's going to be marked down around the 46-yard line of Gilmer.
And I believe Will Henderson, I'm sorry, it was going to be number 5, again, Goss in there on the stop.
Yeah, between Henderson and Sims, the running attack from Gilmer has been pretty tough tonight.
Henry Thurkill goes out, one of the inside linemen there.
Back to pass for Tennyson. He's got a man deep, but 2 men on him, and Chapel Hill had that one covered up, Keith. The pass was intended for Gilmer's number 5, Demarion Hackett.
And you got Javid Mayfield, and I can't tell who that other player is running right now. Mayfield was on the coverage with him. However, I'm going to give Trevor Brooks a little bit of credit. He came around the corner on the outside and was giving the quarterback, Tennyson, a little bit of hello, how you doing?
Yeah, he said, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Just watch for me.
He let him know.
So Tennyson, hands off, outside. That's going to be number 24 for Gilmer on that sweep, Hector. And he's going to be taken out of bounds around the 48-yard line of Chapel Hill.
Isaiah Collins in on the stop.
The Gilmer fans wanted the penalty for something. I'm not sure what they were looking at there, but I didn't see anything.
Well, I did. It was backwards around at the 40-yard line, 45-yard line. A couple of players having a little fun, extracurricular.
They've kind of let things go for the most part tonight, though. They let them play. So, third down and 4. Tackles missed, and that's that man again, Tate. He's sneaky. He slips through 3 or 4 tackles, ends up getting taken down around the 33-yard line.
Davion Ross does a good job. We have a player down. That looks like it's going to be number 64.
That's number 90, I think, there.
Is it 90?
Oh, over here.
No, yeah.
I was looking at the Chapel Hill player.
No, we have I didn't see the Chapel Hill player. That's Kendall Allen for the Bulldogs, but number 64, Spencer Murphy, is down on the ground.
So we're going to take a timeout, all injury timeouts this season, sponsored by Karen Murphy with Century 21. And we're back. That injured player was number 64, Spencer Murphy. So we'll resume here as 1st and 10 for Gilmer at the Chapel Hill 32-yard line. Henderson taken down at the 28 for a gain of 4.
And number 50, Braylon Allen, in on the stop. Kendall Allen comes back in as he was out for that play. And that's going to be 2nd down. Gilmer seems to be taking a little bit more time in between snaps this half, Brett.
They're taking their time. Probably don't want to give the ball back to Chapel Hill. We're trying to see if they can wear him down, I guess. And it's going to be a handoff up the middle again, and that's Henderson. A nice 2nd down run. You're going to mark him down at about the 20-yard line.
Braylon Allen, once again on that stop, he kind of pulled. Watching that play, Brett, the front line of Gilmer doing a great job of getting a push on that front defensive line of the Bulldogs, allowing them to get a lot of yardage each time they run the ball, and they get another 1st down.
Well, Henderson's going to take a break. They're going to bring in Alex Sims, the backup tailback here. And play fake for Tennyson to Sims, and Tate give it over to Tate, looking for a little screen play, and Chapel Hill ate it up. The ball's loose.
That was a helmet.
Oh, I thought it was
That
the
was a
ball.
helmet loose.
Wow. I thought
it was too for a second.
I thought the ball was loose, but it was a helmet.
And we're going to give Kendall Allen props for breaking that up behind the line of scrimmage, but Davion Ross was the one who made the initial or the final tackle.
Man,
but Kendall Allen was there at the very beginning. He sniffed that out.
Helmets don't usually fly off like that.
No, they didn't.
And Tate was feeling it. He goes off to the sideline. I think he's thankful for that rule. He's going to take him a little break here. And that's going to bring up a 2nd down and long for Gilmer, about 14 on the play. Handoff up the middle to Sims. And he gets to about the 17. So big 3rd down play right here.
And a good stop.
For both teams.
Right. Jaborian Cook makes a good stop. He reaches out and just makes a flag football type grab and gets that jersey and pulls him down.
And Gilmer kind of getting in a hurry now again, Keith. And the handoff up the middle this time, stopped short of the 1st as Sims immediately brought down by someone. Keith, did you see who that was?
I did. It was Trevor Brooks off the outside. Trevor Brooks has a habit. They send him from that outside. He's so quick off the turn. He read the play as a run up the middle and just immediately cut and did a swan dive into the back of the running back and brought him down and saved that 1st down run.
It's like he was in the backfield already.
Yeah, he was.
So 4th down and 5, ball on the 15-yard line. So, and looks like Gilmer is going to take a timeout and think about it. We'll take it with him with 6:45 left here in the 3rd. Chapel Hill leads Gilmer 41-33 right here on NetSN. So big 4th down here early in the 2nd half for Gilmer. 4th and 5. Tennyson, handoff. Brooks almost got him, but Tate sneaks away. Henderson sneaks away and almost scores.
He drags a couple of Bulldogs down to the 1-yard line.
And how close was Brooks there on that end?
He was a hair away. He came across. He was really close to being offsides, in my opinion, but does a good job.
So 1st and goal from the 1, and Brooks gets there again.
And they are bringing him off the outside almost every play.
And then he went down. He came up for a second, and then he went back down. I don't know if he got wrapped up, maybe slammed his own body part down. He made that tackle so hard there, Keith. And looks like we're going to have another injury timeout. Again, injury timeout sponsored by Karen Murphy with Century 21. We'll be right back. So now 2nd and goal from the 1. Tennyson in the gun. Handoff and stopped again. Great job as Chapel Hill surges and makes it a loss of 1.
And that was Jamari Davis off the end there. That wasn't Cook. That was Jamari Davis coming off the end. But not only that, your defensive lineman in the middle pushed that back and had a good job. We got a timeout again.
See, they're going to get Trevor Brooks back on the field for this big 3rd and 2. 3rd and goal from the 2.
Referees talking out, not sure what they're talking about.
So here we go. Henderson in the backfield with Tennyson, and they again are in a shotgun formation. Henderson's out to the right now, moves over to the left. And a little bit of confusion here.
Yeah, not sure what's going on down there.
I think what happened was that's Chapel Hill's number 54, Jamari Davis. He kind of stayed down a little too long, I think. So they're making him go out for. That's why they kind of blew a whistle at the end.
Gotcha.
Handoff. Chapel Hill's there on Henderson, and they are going to stop him again.
And once again, Trevor Brooks coming from the backside. But not only that, let's give props to the left side of the front line led by Braylon Allen.
And we're going to have another injury timeout. It looks like Day-Day Ross, number 9, the middle linebacker for Chapel Hill, is down.
And Bret, I apologize, Bret. I was going to tell you.
Go ahead.
I think we got some cramping. You got heat.
Yeah.
And a lot of running.
It kind of looks like it. That he's. And looks like he's going to be okay, but now here's the thing: if you're Coach Reardon, that's probably your best linebacker. I mean, of course, you got Brooks in there too, but does he burn a timeout here and try to get him back in, stretch him out, and get him back in, or they go with what they've got? We'll see.
Yeah, and if I were Reardon, I'd say no. You don't want to waste your timeout right now in this situation.
No, it's a pretty big play.
It is a big play.
4th and 1. So we'll see a flag on the play. I'm not sure. A sideline warning, I think, is what they're going to call. We'll see what they say here. Let's see. They didn't announce it, but I saw the linesman down here kind of the sideline warning thing, so I think that's what it was. So here we go. 4th and 1 on the 1. 4th and goal. Handoff. Tennyson keeps. They read it. And, they couldn't bring him down. And Tennyson sneaks into the end zone for the Gilmer touchdown.
And that's what you get right there when you have a offensive player that doesn't quit and your defensive that doesn't wrap up. When a defensive coach says wrap up, it doesn't do anything just to hit a defensive player, and especially one that just doesn't quit like that. You have to wrap up.
He's not talking about wrap up like a wrap.
Yeah.
Like a salad wrap.
Yeah, you have
It's like wrap up on the tackle.
Yeah, you had 2 chances right there. Oh, goodness.
Oh, and it's Brooks.
Ball.
And Brooks is going to score for a 2-point conversion. There's no one between him and the goal line. Trevor Brooks And a huge 2 points.
Did he catch that snap in midway?
What a play by Trevor Brooks. Wow. So instead of kicking the extra point, possibly having a chance to cut the lead, Trevor Brooks runs back the 2-point conversion. And that's 2 points for Chapel Hill. Wow, Keith.
I'm stunned.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that.
I don't think I have either.
I want to see the replay of that. I'm going to go back and watch that when we get done.
Wow. I'm speechless, and that's just ask my wife. That's difficult to happen. But I think he caught that in mid. I don't know if it just bounced off. Did it bounce off the?
I don't know.
The holder. That was crazy.
They snapped it so quickly. I really wasn't ready for the point after, and all of a sudden, Trevor Brooks is taking off with nobody between him and the goal line except for grass and I guess paint or whatever they used of the field. I guess it's already pre-turfed. That was it.
That is the wildest and craziest play I've ever seen.
Wow. That's a big 2 points as well.
And it's a momentum shift. Basically, Gilmer thought that after a great play.
So they score 6 points. Chapel Hill scores 2, so they only net 4 points there as Cameron Kelly fair catches the kickoff at the 41-yard line, or excuse me, the 36-yard line. So Chapel Hill will come out 1st and 10, and now they look to put a points on the board to make it a 2-score game, Keith.
And a great opportunity there to make a positive out of a negative, even though really that drive, defensive-wise, wasn't a negative. They did a great job defensively, and so did, I'm not going to take away from Gilmer. They did a great job on the offensive side, but to just do that just puts the momentum back on them, and now they get the ball back to use that momentum to see if they can get in the end zone.
And again, J-Bo Cook in at tailback. And Brisbane pulls the ball from Cook, and he takes off. He's got room. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Chapel Hill.
No flag.
Demetrius Brisbane with a 64-yard touchdown and extends Chapel Hill's lead to 49-39 with 4:55 left. Keith, wow, that's momentum. The Brooks 2-point conversion return immediately on the first play from scrimmage. Demetrius Brisbane takes it to the house.
And like I just said, it's a momentum boost to have that right before there, and then they were just going to come out and use that momentum to push them ahead and get that TD.
Point after touchdown is low, but it is good.
Hey.
By Mendez. And with 4:55 left, Chapel Hill now leads 50-39 right here on Edison. We'll be right back. Wow. Campos set to kick off and out of bounds. Another out of bounds kick for Campos, and got to straighten those out there, Keith.
Yeah, you can't keep kicking it out of bounds. It's going to give Gilmer good field position once again. And Gilmer's, not out of it. We watched them in the first half take a 2-touchdown lead and dwindle it to 1 point difference at halftime. So we can't count Gilmer out by any means.
Yeah, it's got a lot of game time left here.
Oh, yeah. just just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. We're still way far away from calling this game from anybody.
And with halfway through the third quarter, Carthage still only leads 23-20 over Kilgore. Whew. Got Bluffkin 31-7 over Tyler Legacy. At the half, Center leads Tatum 51-35. And pass over here, and it's to Tate. And he's going to pick up close to the first down, maybe a yard shy there on first. So to bring up a short 2nd and 1.
Good coverage by Darius Dean. Doesn't let him get that foot on the outside to get that corner, and gets him out of bounds to stop that play and stop the clock.
So Tennyson again in the gun on this short 2nd and 1 from the 44. Handoff, Henderson, and he runs right into the Day Ross, and he ain't going anywhere. Of course, he's still trying to move his feet, but there's a lot of dogs there.
Well, and he gained about 5 yards. However, forward momentum had been stopped for a little bit, but they didn't blow the whistle, and he gained about 3 or 4 yards afterwards. But Day Ross gave us stuck, and we got an injured Bulldog down at about the 30 or 40-yard line.
It's Jamari Davis again. He's injured earlier.
And I really think, Brett, I think it's cramping. I think that
they're stretching him up.
Yeah, they're going to stretch him a little bit. We're going to see that when you have 100-degree weather days. They've been practicing. You're here tonight. I'm sure it's hot down there on the field. You're running, and especially right with this game tonight, with the amount of running that they're doing, both sides of the ball, these muscles are going to start cramping up.
They're getting the water out there to them now. And all injury timeouts tonight are sponsored by Karen Murphy with Century 21. Give her a call today. She'll get you the win.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. 1st and 10 at the 50 for Gilmer. Tennyson back to pass. Looks to throw up the middle. No one's there except for Chapel Hill. Looks like number 6.
Yeah, that's going to be Dylan Johnson. And he
was running the route.
On it. He was running the route.
I'm not sure what Tennyson saw there or who he was throwing to, but there was not a Gilmer player in the vicinity.
Well, I can tell you what Tennyson saw. Tennyson saw Matthew Walker coming right at him. Matthew Walker came off the side, and he waited. Matthew Walker did a good job. He waited a little bit, and then he went, and Tennyson saw Walker right in his headlights, and he had to throw the ball a little bit earlier, so the play didn't progress like he wanted it to.
Tennyson, handoff. Sims cutting a few times, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards on the play.
And that's Braylon Allen came from the back and in the behind there from behind and got him.
So 3rd down and about 4 from the 44-yard line.
And once again, Brett, Gilmer taking a little bit more time in between plays here.
And they still have the luxury to do that. We still have plenty of time. At some point, they're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. Of course, they did that earlier when you said that.
Right.
And then the next 2 plays, they almost ran up to the line of scrimmage. So
right.
Maybe they're trying to throw Chapel Hill off, kind of slow, fast pace here. As Tennyson hands off, the ball's loose on the ground, and I believe Gilmer fell back on it.
And that was Jaborian Cook, and broke up that play, came off the outside.
So that's going to be a huge loss. That's going to put Gilmer at 4th and long and probably bring out the punt unit.
And that looks like they are.
So it's going to be 4th down and 14 from their own 46. And something we haven't done a whole lot of tonight is punting, and Gilmer's going to do it right here, looks like.
I believe there's been 4 maybe total in the game, 2 for each team, I think.
Yep. Braden Pate trots onto the field for Gilmer to punt.
Nobody back deep for the Bulldogs, though, Brett.
No, they're just going to play it safe here, it looks like, and play in case they do a fake of some sort.
And to me, that's pretty smart, especially with the location that they're in right now.
Pate's going to pooch it up. High wobbly kick. Bounces around the 31. Continues to roll. Let's see where they mark it out of bounds at. It's going to be at the 27-yard line, I believe, Keith.
And a little booing going on if you can hear it. A little confrontation on the far side around the 30-yard marker there. But not bad. Nothing was thrown.
Yeah.
Just some words, which happens in high school football.
There's not a lot of room here in this stadium tonight, Keith. It's pretty packed.
It is very packed. Both fan bases showing out for their teams today, and I love to see that. I know you do as well.
Oh, yes. 1st and 10 for Chapel Hill. Handoff, Brisbane, and Cook kind of miscommunicate there. I think Brisbane may have fell back on it there. We'll see. And I believe he did. So will be a loss of about 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 13.
Jeremiah Noble of Gilmer was jumping up and down and pointing that they had the ball, which didn't work that time, but it was a noble effort, so to speak.
Yeah, you try to sell your team's chances of getting the ball back.
Any which way you can win, that's what you got to do, man.
That's right.
But that fumble gets them 2nd and long, and you really don't want that.
Yep. We'll see what they call here.
And still hadn't seen Ricky Stewart.
No, he's been on the sideline this whole half. Brisbane steps up in the pocket, nowhere to go, spins away from a tackle, and he's got a little space. He gets to the outside, crosses the 40, knocked out of bounds around the 43, 44-yard line. They're going to mark us at the 43. And what a play by Stewart. Kind of slithered away from the Gilmer defense, Keith.
And he did. Jamar Burge saved a touchdown right there and knocked Brisbane out of bounds. Not before he got a 1st down by the grace of whatever, but he slithered, like you said, in and out of the arms of one of the defenders.
It's like he's got butter on him. So slick you can't tackle him.
It's called he can run. We can't.
Brisbane back to pass. Going deep. He's got a man. It's Cameron Kelly. There's a lot of contact, and there's a flag.
That was coming.
And I believe that's going to be defensive pass interference.
I believe it is, too. He grabbed his arm.
You're not allowed to tackle the receiver before he gets the ball, Keith. That's kind of that's a great rule there, right?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, when your receiver's arm is in your hands and you're pulling him down, I don't think that works. And we will see what happens here.
yeah.
I'm anxious to see what the ref calls. And that I believe is the first penalty on Gilmer this game, other than the warning that they had earlier. So that's going to be...
Yep, we're going to have 1st and 10. Looks like it's going to be marked around the 23-yard line. So there was a lot of... I think they would have let it go. There was a lot of jockeying back and forth, but then when he pulled him down, that was when they had to blow the flag there.
Well, not only that, but the defender... they're backing him up?
Wait a second. What's going on here? I'm not sure what's going on here.
Are they going to have to do it from the spot of the... is it a 15-yard... I think it's a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's not
It's not from a spot foul, so that's where we're having the issue.
Are they... Okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a proponent for this for a rule change here, Keith, on this. I think the pass interference, if the player would have caught it down at the 20, that's where you spot the ball.
Right.
They've changed it everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for the high school rule to change.
And I think Reardon's having a conversation about that. Why? I think he thought it was supposed to be a spot foul as well.
But I like that rule because if he would have caught the ball, that's where he would have been. So I think that's the fair rule. But hopefully one of these days they will kind of get that rule moved down.
Agreed. And Reardon is over there having a conversation. I believe he is saying it should be a spot foul or 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Well, I believe the rule is 15 yards from the previous spot.
I agree with you.
For high school. But it's good the referees are discussing it. They'll make sure they get it right.
Right. And I don't know if there was a rule change this year or not. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, not that I know of. We'll see if they tell us anything here.
It looks like they're moving.
Is he gonna? Oh, he's gonna go talk to the coach. He's not gonna tell us anything.
Not yet, anyway.
So we're going back and forth here.
Right.
They moved it up. They moved it back. Now we're back down where we were. Let's see where they actually spot it. Is that the 28, 29-yard line, somewhere in there? It'll be 1st and 10 for Chapel Hill. When Coach Metzel gets off the field, he's still having a conversation with the referee.
Yeah, he's gonna do exactly what Reardon did, and he's gonna find out what the rule exactly is. And of course, Gilmer fans, just like Chapel Hill would be if it was reverse, are not happy, and they have that right.
So here we go. We're finally going to have a snap here.
And here we go.
So Brisbane in the gun with Cook next to him. He keeps it. He cuts it back. Finds a little space between some blockers. Still moving. And the pile keeps going forward. And it's going to end up stopping around the 16-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
And he ran into his own player, Keldrick Davis, there.
He just got behind.
He literally got behind.
It's like me just getting behind you, Keith, and just move me forward. I'm gonna stick right behind
that's
you.
That's really what he did. He kind of rammed into him. He said, "Go, go, go." I'm sure he was whispering, "Go, go, 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 go." And Davis just said, "Okay."
And then he got some help. He got some help from behind as well, and they were pushing him too. So
and move that pile.
So ball at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Brisbane, hand off to Cook. Cuts it back a little bit. Keeps his feet churning. Cook. And Gilmer thinks they have the ball, and they do. And he shovels it forward. I don't think that's legal.
You can do that. But I don't see a flag yet. And I don't know if you can forward shovel a pass like that.
I don't think so.
And I don't know if that's legal. I have not seen a flag.
So did they change possession?
I don't know either. I didn't hear a whistle. We're going to hear from the referee now. And he may get some boos again from the Gilmer fans if he calls this back.
So from what I saw,
I think the play was down.
Gilmer, if they got the ball, then that should be a penalty for illegal forward pass.
Yeah.
Don't know. Let's see if they tell. So exactly what I thought, Keith. So Gilmer gets the ball. They called the illegal forward pass. Back them up 5 yards, and they'll take over.
But how can you have he said illegal forward pass, it's a loss of down, still first down.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the rule normally.
Yeah, and I agree.
But they can't lose a down when they didn't have the ball. So.
Exactly.
Anyway, so Gilmer, that's a big play right there. As Chapel Hill was looking to extend their lead to possibly 3 scores, a turnover, and now Gilmer has the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 17.
Under a minute left in the third. Not really what Bulldogs wanted, this close to their own end zone.
So Tennyson takes a snap, drops back, throws it, and could not connect. Pass intended there for Gilmer's number 7, Brendan Webb.
And that was way over the head of Webb. Braylon Dean on the coverage.
So we'll see as Gilmer, as the game goes, they may have to start throwing a little more than they have tonight. So we'll see if that Chapel Hill pressure that they've had a little bit tonight that's bothered them. We'll see if he can weather the storm. Tennyson back to pass. Incomplete again. That pass was intended for number 13, Jeremiah Noble.
And I think Kendall Allen had a little hand on that as well. He was a little behind the line of scrimmage and put his hands up, and that ball kind of lost direction there.
I got a score change. Carthage is now trailing Kilgore 27-20 with 4:19 left in the third quarter, Keith.
And that would be a pick'em buster for a lot of pick'em lists there, Brett.
Yeah, I believe only 4 people out of over 100 on our pick'em picked Kilgore this week. That was the lopsided game of the week. Then that would be huge. Tennyson. Overthrows his receiver, intended for number 4, Jamar Bird, and that's 3 plays and a punt time for Gilmer. So they're unable to take advantage of that turnover.
And really and truly tonight, and of course Javen Mayfield on the coverage, but really and truly, they haven't been able to do anything with those types of situations when they get a break from Chapel Hill. They haven't been able to make those situations go for them in their way.
So it's Pate back to punt, and he's kind of holding it for a minute, and then he kind of halfway shanks it. The ball lands at about the 40, and it rolls all the way down in the Chapel Hill territory at the 45. So, and then we got a scrum going on around the 40-yard line of Gilmer. Flags fly there, and
the Gilmer coaches and Chapel Hill coaches trying to get their team back onto the sidelines. Flags fly.
Man, there's a lot of intensity out there tonight, Keith, for this big top 5 matchup.
There really is, and a lot of energy and a lot of emotion going in. It's the first game, and we'll see how the referees parse this one out. I would hate to see it not go both ways. Both teams look like they were.
It's got to be, right?
It's got to be both. So it would be, in my humble opinion, it would be a travesty if only one team got in trouble for this one and got penalized just for this. Because from what we looked at, both teams were involved in this situation.
So we'll see what they come up with here.
Here comes the referee.
All right, so unsportsmanlike conduct. There's no movement of the ball, so I believe is going to be on both. Oh, they are. It's going to be on just Gilmer.
It's just Gilmer and Jimerson. Number 27, Dadrian Jimerson, was the one that was called on, and in my opinion, if they only call on him, he must have done started
something.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't agree with the call.
There had to have been something that was more egregious than everything else.
Again, like I said before, and I would have said it either way, and I'm saying it this way. I from what I saw, I believe it should have been for both because both teams were equally involved.
Well,
but I'm not wearing stripes.
The good news for Chapel Hill is Stewart is in the backfield. He takes the snap, he fakes the handoff to Brisbane, cuts back, and he goes up the middle. He's got the outside. Stewart inside the 20, steps out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. So Ricky Stewart makes an immediate impression and kind of gets up a little bit gimpy there.
Yeah, and Jet Bates was involved. He gets up and actually gets right back down on the sidelines there. And the player is down. That's Bates, Jet Bates, who made the tackle.
So update on that score a while ago I just talked about. Carthage must have heard me. They answered. They're up 30-27 with 11 minutes and 27 seconds to go in that game. At the end of the third, we've got Jacksonville up over Sulphur Springs, 16-14. That's did you pick Jacksonville? I believe,
did.
Keith.
I
have Sulphur Springs, so
yeah. I picked that. That was my. I believe that was my upset pick this week. Was Jacksonville over Sulphur Springs.
So, lots of good scores. Make sure you check out the app NetSN. Go search for it on your Google Play and Apple devices. We have all the scores. If you're an East Texas fan out there, it's your go-to app for anything sports in East Texas. As Brisbane takes a snap, looking for the end zone, and caught! Touchdown! Cameron Kelly, I believe that is, in the corner of the end zone. Nice little fade route there, Keith.
Beautifully placed right over the hands and the head of the defender, and I can't see exactly who the defender is. I believe it's number 22, and that's going to be Trillian Butler. Yeah, that's Butler, but beautiful placement by Brisbane.
So on for the PAT of Chapel Hill is number 30, Alvaro Mendez. And the kick is up. And it's good. With 19 seconds left here in the third quarter of play, Chapel Hill has their biggest lead of the night, 56-39 over Gilmer. You're watching high school football in NetSN.
57. They didn't change it fast enough. Oh, unsportsmanlike conduct. Okay, so it must have been, I don't know who was on, but it's unsportsmanlike conduct on that kickoff.
Oh, lovely. More of that.
Mm-hmm.
close and reopen.
Oh, you're talking about
I'm trying to talk to someone. They have an app there they sent me.
That's weird.
And we're back here on NetSN.
I believe we had unsportsmanlike conduct on the point after attempt, and yeah, it was on Chapel Hill. So they're going to be backed up 15 yards on the kickoff there, Brett. And I think, and I'm going to call this, I believe it's going to get a little bit worse the closer we get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
Emotions are going to run higher for both sides because, when you said it earlier, it's going to come down with right to the end of the game. Yes, there's a big lead, but Gilmer's not going to give up. Chapel Hill's not going to give up. So it's going to be an emotional game here from on out, and I don't see the flags going away anytime soon. I hope they do, but I don't see it.
So here we go. It's Campos with a huge leg this time. Shoots it over Henderson. And he's already touched it, so he's got to field it at the 5. He's got a little room. He's able to break a tackle there, and he's going to get just past the 40-yard line. What a recovery by Henderson, Keith. That almost was disastrous for Gilmer.
It really was, and Chapel Hill didn't have any form. There was no formation. It was just kind of like a shotgun blast, and they didn't merge on the ball.
So, do you think that's one of those where they outkicked their coverage?
They
almost?
did. They outkick their coverage.
So it's like he kicks it down.
Yeah.
The Gilmer guy goes all the way back, so Chapel Hill's so far down the field already. And once you slip that hole, he had a huge gap.
Right. It was really good job by the Gilmer player to do that and kind of wait it out.
So Henderson with the carry, sweep out to the right. And he's going to be wrapped up around the 47 or 48-yard line by Chapel Hill.
Dylan Johnson on the stop. And I think that play ended the third quarter, Brett.
And it did. Through 3 quarters of play, Chapel Hill leads Gilmer 57-39. Don't go anywhere. Right here on NetSN. Back here for the fourth quarter on NSN. Gilmer starts the quarter, the second and short here. Handoff for Tennyson up the middle. Handoff goes to, that's number 24 of Gilmer. AVR Hector.
Braylon Allen comes in from the middle and just knocks that out.
So
and we have a little. Sorry, I'm looking at the clock. The clock was at all zeros during that entire play. So,
well, I guess that's a Gilmer person running the clock. They're like, hey, let's just run the quarter with no clock and see if they can get some points. So the third string tailback, Hector, is in. And he gets the carry up the middle. Got a lot of room. Breaks a few tackles. Wrapped up. Taken down around the 16-yard line by the Bulldogs.
Darius Dean with the stop there.
It hadn't seemed to matter who they've had in at tailback, Keith. They've been able to find holes.
Yeah, and with every good stop that front line gets, they overpenetrate and allow that hole to open up. And good blocking, I don't want to give it away, but good blocking by the offensive line as well.
Tennyson rolls out to his right. Ball's loose. Picks it up and just throws it. Oh, that can't be legal, right?
I believe that's going to be intentional grounding
if he
passed the ball.
Yeah, it didn't go back to the line of scrimmage, so Good try there.
I don't see a flag.
Yeah, it's
Is
on the
there one? Oh, okay.
it's on the far. It's at about the 30 on the 0 there.
Oh,
He's
okay.
picking it up now.
I'm getting old, Brett. I can't see stuff.
That's okay. That's why you got me here.
Yes, that's why I keep you around.
I keep you around to make me feel young.
Right. That's what. Wait. Yes, because I'm older than you are.
Yeah. So that's going to be a spot foul, loss of down.
Not a good position for Gilmer to be in right now. That's a big.
Yeah, you got 2nd and 25 now, Keith, from the 32. And they're down by 3 scores. So time is now going to be a factor for Gilmer.
And all of the slow play from the third quarter, that's why I kept saying they're taking a lot of time away.
They're going to have
Just
to.
kind of puts in perspective what you were doing.
So Tennyson hands off. Henderson outside. And it's going to be run out of bounds at about the 31-yard line of Chapel Hill.
And if I'm correct, I believe that was Cook that pushed him out of bounds, forced him out of bounds there, over there on the far sideline.
Cook's had
No, I was actually wrong. Excuse me, that was Tyrell Goss.
Goss. We'll say Cook's had a great game tonight, honestly.
He really has.
He's played well on both sides of the ball. Tennyson in the gun. Henderson to his left. Drops back to pass. Throwing deep on this side and caught. That's going to be number 6 for Gilmer. Connor Dodd with the catch.
Good job by Darius Dean. He gave him a little bit too much of a cushion there, but he came in and made the pass, or made the excuse me, the tackle right when he landed. Gave him too much cushion, though.
Honestly, though, at that kind of long pace, and it's now 4th down, and they still have a good 14 to go. So, the cushion, they made sure they kept him in front of him. That was a good part.
Right.
Didn't let him get by.
When you don't ever want him to get behind you. So, good job on him.
I think in that situation, maybe that's what it was. Probably the defensive play call.
And I'll tell you, that was my fault. I had forgotten it was that far away. My bad.
No,
you don't normally see a third down and 30.
So here we got a
timeout, I believe.
Yeah, timeout. Let's see who they.
Chapel Hill called a timeout, I think. The far side referee came running out. So I believe it is.
All right, well, the timeout, we'll take it with him. 10-10 left in the game. Chapel Hill still leads Gilmer 57-39 right here on Net Us In. And we're back with 10-10 remaining. And while we were at break, it was Gilmer that called the timeout, Keith. So
Yeah,
Chapel Hill
like
still has all 3 of theirs. Gilmer down to 1 timeout left. And this is a big 4th down, probably why they called it. We'll see. Do you bring out anything funny here, Keith, in this situation? Something you hadn't ran tonight, maybe?
I don't know. I think you just let your quarterback sit back and find the open man.
So Tennyson, screen pass, and incomplete. And it's going to be turnover on downs.
I believe there's a flag on the play, and I hope that is not against Chapel Hill, because that's going to give an automatic first down to Gilmer when it was a turnover on downs.
Well, on screenplays, sometimes you see illegal men downfield, so I wonder.
Well, but this looks like it was done by the line judge down on the Gilmer sideline, and where there was a receiver and a defensive back.
We'll see when they get paid for the big bucks. We'll see what they say.
Okay, so
it was after the play, late hit. So that means Chapel Hill gets the ball, but they're going to mark off. I guess it'll be 15 or maybe just be half the distance. Let's see. Penalties being marked off from around the 20. We'll see if they do. Yeah, it'll be half the distance to the goal, Keith. So it'll be 1st and 10, Chapel Hill. Ball spotted at Chapel Hill's 10.
The good thing about that is we regained possession. It was after the play, so the ball was dead. So we had Chapel Hill had possession, and that made it a good. I mean, you don't have a good foul, or penalty, but still,
it was better than if it was after handoff. Ricky Stewart up the middle, breaks a few tackles and dragged down by the ankles there, Keith.
That was a great tackle, and it was a touchdown-saving tackle. A lot of shoestring tackles here today, and I'm trying to see the number. I believe it was number 6. And trying to see that one. Yeah, it is number 6. It's going to be Connor Dodd. Connor Dodd has saved a couple of touchdowns today by that good little hand. He just reaches out and he finds the right spot every time and does a great job for Gilmer. They're lucky to have him in that defensive backfield.
So I got a final from Grapevine as Grapevine Faith knocks off Brook Hill 42-21. That's a final there. As up the middle, and that's Brisbane
on the keeper.
And nobody's going to touch him. Touchdown, Chapel Hill.
No flag on the play, so yeah, that's going to stand. A good job.
What a run.
And Brisbane just kept that ball, and he didn't even have to juke and jive. It was just a track meet straight dash.
It was a doom.
Yeah.
Shot out of a rocket there, and that's going to be Campos on for the extra point. Snap good, hold good, kick is good. And with 9:17 left here in Gilmer, Chapel Hill extends their lead 64-39 right here on NetSN.
Hey, Bret, I don't know if you've said this one yet. We got a game update. Lufkin over Tyler Legacy tonight, 31-7.
That is a final.
That is a final.
Okay.
So,
hey, Keith, if you're looking for scores, where can you find those?
You can find them on the NetSN app on Apple and Google Play.
Yep. So if you're out there at games, make sure you go download that app, and you can update the scores right there from your game and see what everything else everybody's got going on. We've still got a good one in center as they lead 66-49 toward the end of the third over Tatum as Campos kicks the ball.
Out of bounds
and again, out of bounds. I feel like I've said that a few times, Keith.
You have a few times. Hey, while we got a little break here, Bret, doing another one. Tyler High. Now, this is the last update we have. At halftime, Tyler High is over Marshall right now, 14-0, and that is a halftime score. A final, Van comes back and wins 24-17 over Pine Tree. They were down, as you know, there in the first half a couple of times. Yep. Mount Pleasant up 38-7 in the fourth quarter over Pittsburgh right now, and then Hallsville down in the fourth quarter 14-27 Terrell over Hallsville right now. 27-14 Terrell over Hallsville at this time in the fourth quarter.
Wait. Center just scored again.
Oh, goodness.
73-49.
Good Lord.
With just over a minute left in the third quarter. A lot of points tonight on NetSN, Keith.
Yes, there is. Math is hard. Oh, big one here. Third quarter, last update we had. Third quarter with 2 minutes left. Lindale leads Kaufman 42-24 there in Lindale.
Looking for some revenge. Last year, Lindale was knocked off that first game against Kaufman. Tennyson, pass over here in the flat. Caught by number 7. Brendan Webb.
And Trevor Brooks looks to be down. He was on the initial contact there.
And
he is
he's pounding the ground, didn't like it.
Yeah, he hit his shoulder a little bit, and so he may got a stinger.
We're going to take an injury timeout, sponsored by Karen Murphy with Century 21. Be right back.
Sorry, I think I'm a little early.
That's all right. Back here on NSN as Trevor Brooks limps off. 2nd down and 4 for Gilmer. Tennyson fakes the handoff out in the flat. Complete to number 4, Jamar Bird.
Hey, Brett, I want to give you another update real quick. It's 8 minutes and 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Carthage up 30-27.
Man, that's a
over Kilgore right now.
And we got another injury timeout sponsored by Karen Murphy with Century 21. We'll take it. We'll be right back. And we're back as
that was Tyrell Goss.
Yeah, Goss kind
of a lot of cramps coming on. These aren't. I mean, they're injuries, but they're just it's cramping up.
It's hot out there. My watch says it's still 9 degrees outside, which is 10:22 in the evening. So
yeah.
So Tennyson in the gun, 1st and 10. Handoff Henderson, and he finds a crease, and he's going to get the 1st down, taken down around the 38-yard line of Chapel Hill.
That's Peyton Bonner on the stop for the Bulldogs. And another update in the fourth quarter, Henderson over Liberty Isle right now, 21-12.
Be a big first game win for Coach Clay Baker, and with his return to Henderson. And Tennyson's pass is caught. Yeah, they gave him the catch right around the 26-yard line there.
That's a good job by the receiver. Who was that? Number 4? Was that?
Yes, that was number 4.
Jamar Bird?
Bird.
Did a good job there to come back and get that ball and roll out of bounds and stop the clock and give Gilmer an opportunity. Trying to get big old Kendall Allen out of the game. And it's hard to move those big bodies, trust me. And there must have been a penalty, Brett. I didn't
see one.
Hear or see one.
The refs hasn't been real communicative tonight.
No,
trouble.
He's not been very, very well at that.
Let's see. And they're going to stop the play again here.
Yeah, trying to. This crew has not been very good at communicating what's going on to the press box at all, really. And if I was having to keep stats or anything, it would be a very frustrating game.
Yep. So here we go. 1st and 10, ball on the 13-yard line. Tennyson in the gun. Handoff to Henderson, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. So Tennyson hands off to Henderson for the 13-yard touchdown run for Gilmer. And they're going to go up to 45. So they cut the lead to 19. And we've got a pending PAT coming from Pate.
So a good little touchdown run there by Henderson, and Gilmer closes the gap a little bit. A lot of game left, Brett.
Yep, and PAT up, and it's good. So with 8:23 left, Gilmer now trails Chapel Hill 64-46. We'll be right back here on NetSN. Back here in Gilmer. It's been a good one here, back and forth as Chapel Hill's pulled away in this second half. They lead 64-46 with 8:23 left, and looks like Gilmer's lining up for an onside kick, Keith.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to do that. I don't know. He may kick it away. He's moved into a different position here.
We got about 5 guys on this side down here.
Yeah, they're down pretty low.
And here it comes. Off the Chapel Hill player. Oh, I think Chapel Hill might have pulled it away. It's going to be who can get that ball underneath the pile.
It looked like Chapel Hill got it there at the very end.
Yeah, it was close.
And Chapel Hill's saying they have it, and so are the referees. So, yeah, Chapel Hill's going to come away with that one. That one was a little heart stopper there.
Ooh, off the window with a football.
That was a heck of a throw by a cheerleader.
Man. So Chapel Hill will start with the ball. 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to mark it right at the dead middle of the field, the 50-yard line. Now, if you're Chapel Hill, you're going to keep the ball on the ground, play keep away at this point. If you score, you score. But they want to just keep the clock running here at this point.
You do, and you really want to use that play clock to your advantage, and that's something that hasn't been done in the past by the Bulldogs, so I'm hoping that they use it now.
So here we go, Brisbane in the gun. Stewart in the backfield. Handoff, Stewart. He's outside. Crosses the 40. Crosses the 30. And he steps out of bounds maybe right before he got to the 30 at about the 32-yard line. So they're going to give him the first down. So first down Chapel Hill.
And that's going to stop the clock, Brett, but it looks like the Bulldogs are going to go for the touchdown here to give that cushion, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay with it.
I mean, you either score or you milk the clock. You'll take either one.
And it's one of those situations where, you cannot give a team like Gilmer an opportunity at all.
So keep the pedal to the metal.
Keep the pedal to the metal, because Gilmer is that good of a team that if you give them an inch, they'll run a mile on you.
So Brisbane and Stewart stay in the backfield. Brisbane in the gun. And the flag and delay of game, it looks like they're going to call on Chapel Hill as the play clock runs down to 0.
5 yards, still first down.
So they'll back it up 5, and it'll be 1st and 15.
And it's not good to use a play clock when the regular clock's not running there, Brett.
Yeah, no, you don't want to let that. I mean, that's one thing. I guess they're not too concerned. They gave the maximum time there.
And I'll tell you what, we've had this big score, and I'm looking here at the last update at halftime, the Pleasant Grove and Brock game, which is a big one, 3-0 at halftime.
Wow, what a defensive battle. I think I'd take this one.
Yeah.
Handoff, Stewart up the middle, cuts it back outside. Brisbane trying to get a little block and leading his running back. Stewart down the sideline, and he's tackled inside the 5-yard line. great job by Brisbane to bounce back out there, Keith, and get a block.
And does a good job for his running back. I think that was Micah Easley, number 15, for the Buckeyes, who makes that touchdown-saving tackle on the outside and I believe stops the clock.
So Brisbane in the gun, and I think Cook is now in the backfield with Brisbane. He's going to be out to his right.
And we have a final on the Carthage-Kilgore game. Carthage takes that one 30-27.
And Mayfield with a little sweep. And it's going to be a touchdown pass for Brisbane as he tosses it forward. That's his second one like that tonight.
That's that shovel, quote-unquote, touchdown pass.
So Chapel Hill touchdown there. A 4-yard catch from Brisbane to Javen Mayfield, and they go up 70-46. You think Chapel Hill doesn't remember what happened last year, Keith?
I think they do. I think they have a little bit of a grudge, a little bit of a thing to show here.
So with
something to prove.
And we got 7:45 left here, and PAT up, and it's good. So again, with 7:45 left, Chapel Hill now leads 71-46. Stay with us right here on NetSN. Back here in Gilmer as Chapel Hill Campos kicks off, and
Out of
Keith,
bounds.
where'd it go?
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds for maybe the 4th or 5th time tonight. Hey, I wonder if they're going to work on kickoffs this week.
I think they may do that. Hey, Brett, I got a score for you, and I want to ask you a question. The defending 3A state champions, who are they? Or pretty close to it? Was it?
Who was a defending 3A? Which division?
I believe it was. I don't remember.
3A. Well, yeah, 3A Division 1 was Franklin. They beat Brock.
Yeah.
3A Division 2 was. Gosh, you got me on that one. I don't know who it was. I can't remember.
Wasn't White Oak, was it?
No, not White Oak at all.
Didn't think so. I was just wondering about that. Speaking of White Oak, though, real quick, Troop over White Oak 70-14.
Ouch.
In a final.
Man, Coach Sam Wells and that Troop team getting off to a good start, 1-0. They were in my poll last week. They may move up this week after that impressive showing.
You think so?
Tennyson in the gun. Pass, and in and out of the hands of his receiver.
A little pressure on the quarterback there.
Number 16, that was at Lofton, was intended there for the catch.
Darius Dean on the coverage there. Another final, Brett. Canton over Mineola, 34-12.
Wow, it's a big win for Canton. Mineola's they lost some Pendergrass guy. He went to Baylor. They're going to be a little down this year. And good run there up the middle for Gilmer. It's going to be a gain of 8. See that on the carry. I didn't quite see who that was. That's going to be number 24, the third string back, Ector.
And I believe Peyton Bonner and Trey Abudige is on that one. Another score real quick. Fourth quarter, Winsboro 59, Paul Pewitt 6.
Ooh. Finney and Company looks like they're going to move to 1-0 there. Winsboro had a good night. Up the middle. Sector again. He's going to pick up just enough for the first down to move the chains.
And Dallas Gibson on that tackle, and Aputica again, Trey, in on that as well.
We got a kind of an internal battle as this play goes, as Tennyson runs out to the left side and steps out of bounds about the 47-yard line. The battle is who's going to score the most points on that SN tonight. Center right now has that lead, 80 points tonight. Coach Meeks and company, they're going to put some points up this year between Cross and Dixon and that high-powered center offense. But man, Tatum's a good team. That's big for a center to get off to a good start tonight. And of course, we have center now, part of our network, and we'll have every center game. Handoff up the middle again. That's number 24, Hector. He's getting some good cleanup minutes here, getting some good carries. Let his teammates rest, and he picks up a first down.
Marcion Blaylock is on the stop on that one. Kind of like earlier in the game, he was kind of on the ground, sitting on the ground, kind of grabbed that and made that stop there. We have another score update. Fourth quarter, Rusk over Fairfield right now, 26-22. Really close game there at Rusk.
Tennyson fakes the handoff, scrambles out to his right, just throws it up toward the Chapel Hill fans there.
Well, there's a reason he did that, because he had Davion Ross.
I would too.
If Davion Ross was coming at me like that, I probably would do that.
I'd have thrown it 2 or 3 seconds before that. So we got a close one, as Brownsboro now leads Athens with 38 seconds to go, 29-28. Sounds like maybe they went for 2 there, and
yeah,
and I think, and then we got Marshall and Tyler High in overtime, tied at 36. Well, jumped early, Chapel Hill did, and it's Sims back in the game, and he bounces it outside, crosses the 20, inside the 10, or right around the 10. They make that the 11-yard line for Sims.
I don't think they're going to take that flag. Brelin Dean on the stop on that one. I don't think they're going to take that flag. Do you?
No, I don't think so. At this point, both teams are just looking to get out of here without any injuries further at this point.
Hey, I got a shout to our buddy KO with the Harmony and Hooks update here. 16 Harmony, Hooks 20 at the end of the third quarter.
Ooh.
That's the last update we have.
It's a good game there.
Yeah.
Handoff. And it's Sims again, and he's taken down at around the 7-yard line.
By a pack of Bulldogs. Looks like right in that middle. And Gilmer's sense of urgency doesn't look all that urgent to me, Brett. What do you believe? What do you feel?
Well, I think at this point they know what the scoreboard looks like, and it's 25. That 1 point made a lot. I mean, it's 4 possessions right now. I mean, it would be it would be the most miraculous comeback that I've ever seen in my life doing a game, and so. Realistically, this is a preseason game for everyone. I mean, these don't count. These are kind of to see where you are. And so, if you're looking right now, Keith, at Chapel Hill's performance tonight, what did you see good and things I need to work on, just from your perspective here?
In my perspective, on the good things that I saw, I love the run game. I love the mixture of the run. In the past, we've seen more pressure on the pass, more pressure on Brisbane kind of carrying things, putting him in the position where he forces things. I didn't see that pressure tonight. I saw a calm. I saw an offense that knew what they were doing, putting on. They passed the ball when they could, and there wasn't one thing. They just played smooth football, and it was nice to see. And so that was a positive.
Sims up the middle. And he's close, so they're going to give it to him.
Not that I see.
Don't see a signal. I see a hand up, so it's going to be just short there. And that'll bring up 3rd down and goal from probably either at the 1 or inside the 1 there. It's really close.
I believe that. Is that going to be a 3rd down or is that? Oh, no, it is going to be a 3rd down.
It's 3rd down, just short. Sims again, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. So Gilmer adds a score. Brings him up to 52, pinning the PAT. And they're still scoring in that Center Tatum game. Centers now leads 80-63. I believe this will be, well, it is the first week of football season on NetSN. So they'll have the record for most points scored on a NetSN game.
Hey, this game isn't over yet.
Yeah, it's true. They have 143 points. And they still have half a quarter left as the PAT is up by Pate and good. With 4:57 left here in Gilmer, Chapel Hill leads 71-53 right here on NetSN. Back here in Gilmer, as Gilmer set the kick off to Chapel Hill. Got a final, Keith. We talked about this game a little bit earlier. Henderson gets their first win under Coach Clay Baker as they beat Liberty Allo 28-14.
That's a big win.
So shout out to Coach Baker and the Henderson Lions. We've got another score update as Sulphur Springs now leads Jacksonville 29-16 with 1:33 left. Gilmer is going to line up for another onside kick. They almost had the last one, so we'll see if Chapel Hill does a better job of holding. That's a good little bouncer. Fought over and a big hug there. Looks like that's is that Brooks and Kelly kind of merged together there to make the grab.
They just said, we're going to do this together and just hold on for dear life because there's a lot of Buckeyes coming at them.
Great team effort there.
And Bret, to kind of continue on of your question, the positives and negatives.
Yeah.
I saw some negatives. Of course, it's the first game of the season, but you know the mistakes you had some turnovers, not as many as last season. You had 7 last season. I think we had 3, maybe 4, but they weren't mental turnovers. Mm-hmm. They were, they got punched out. They did this, but it wasn't the mistakes, the mental mistakes that happened last year. And so we just got to continue to hold on to the ball and make good decisions.
Connor Griffin in at quarterback now for Chapel Hill as the handoff goes to. See who that was. Looks like it's number 15, I believe. All these new players in here. No, it's at 22. That's Bonner again.
Yeah, Peyton Bonner.
Okay, so what I'm going to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, Keith. The thing I saw that I didn't like tonight from Chapel Hill was the penalties and the loss of focus and getting involved in all the shenanigans and stuff on like
the extracurricular.
Yeah, you can't have that. Yeah. They had a player ejected. They had a lot of flags and a lot of penalties. And if you're going to be a team that competes late, you've got to cut those out. And when it's game 1, they'll go back. I'm sure the coaches will reiterate this. But that's the main thing I saw. Other than that, honestly, I mean, the fumble, looks like it's going to be a delay of game. The fumble that was Stewart, that was a great play on the defense, the strip. The one down there was one of those who was trying to get the extra yard and fumbled. But the defense immediately held them, so it didn't cost them. So I mean, the things that they did tonight versus last year, you could tell they stayed in it.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not mad about this. Week 1, you can clean that stuff up, but you've got to keep the team focused. You've got to cut down those silly penalties. As Bonner handoff from Griffin, And he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards. Going to be up to the 40. And
looks like number 13, Jeremiah Noble on the stop there for the Buckeyes.
And we have an exciting final in overtime, Keith. Tyler High over Marshall.
Oh, wow.
38-36 in overtime. And that's a big win for Coach Woods. It's his first game as coach at Tyler High, and they got a big win over Marshall.
Nice. Very good job. I will tell you, to kind of go to the other side of the ball with Gilmer.
Yeah.
Looking at Gilmer tonight, always a good football program. I just think, honestly, just to see, I think they got a little bit unprepared on this game. I don't think they expected this football team to be out here.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it on our podcast earlier this week. There's no film on the first game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what to expect. And so you're just looking at the past, and the team that came out today was not the team that you've seen in the past. And so Gilmer came out gunning for the team that they've seen before, and they didn't see that. Now, they adjusted well, and they did a good job, but they weren't ready for it, and I don't think that they had their mindset the way that they should have. They weren't mentally prepared.
So Trevor Brooks back to punt away for Chapel Hill. Booming high kick, lands at about the 30-yard line. Takes a couple of hops and pretty much stays there right at the 30-yard line. So Gilmer will take over 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. We'd like to thank all our sponsors for tonight's game for sponsoring the season for NetSN. Of course, our title sponsor for our network is Zelia Orthopedics. Shout out to those guys. And again, hope you're out there watching or listening to us. Get our app, NetSN. Make sure you get it. The website also has been redone, and it kind of goes with the app. So hope everybody enjoyed that tonight. That was our first week. Went pretty smoothly on the app as far as I know. So let us know if you have any issues with the app. NetSN.live/support. Send us some feedback and things that you saw. But it was good tonight. We had the notifications popping up. We were able to keep you guys up to date on some scores. So overall, a good night with that. As Gilmer just trying to finish off this game. His clock rolling down there 2 minutes here. What I saw from Gilmer, Keith, is I saw a team that they're a good team, but I don't know that I just don't think they were expecting what they got from Chapel Hill tonight. Mm-hmm. I just think that it was a little bit of a mismatch. Honestly, I think Chapel Hill is just a little bit better at this point right now. The offense and defensive line for Chapel Hill got holes for their backs. I think Gilmer's going to have to throw a little bit more too. Tennyson didn't, when they completed passes, they weren't really long ones. As there's a miscommunication there about Tennyson, and he kind of loses the ball, and it's going to be a sack there for Chapel Hill. But I think that's something that they didn't really have. Chapel Hill didn't have to throw much, but when they did a pretty decent job. You got Kelly a few times out wide, open. The shovel passes to Mayfield that count as passes.
The shovel handoff.
So that's actually 3 touchdown passes for Brisbane. He had the one to Kelly in the corner and the 2 shovel passes to Mayfield. So
right.
Is Brisbane your player of the game? He had the couple touchdown runs and 3 touchdown passes.
If you want to make it my player of the game, if you want my humble opinion, is going to be Trevor Brooks. I think Trevor Brooks was all over the place.
Okay. How about this? He offense, defense.
Okay.
Defensive player of the game, definitely Trevor Brooks. We'll go with offensive player of the game, Demetrius Brisbane.
Right.
He was there the whole night. He had different running backs in off and on all night.
Yeah. He was the general of it. He orchestrated. He did a good job. I think there's a little bit of an option going on with there, so he was able to see when to pull the ball back, and that's the end of the game, everybody. Yeah.
That's a final score here in Gilmer. Chapel Hill 71, Gilmer 53. Again, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast, either on our app, online. Looks like the Tatum Center game is also ending about right now, as Center is going to wrap up that one at 80-63. So thanks for tuning in to our games. Again, They're on YouTube. The audio only on this one, and also the Center and Tatum game. So if you want to go back and watch that game, you're watching this one. It'll be live there on our YouTube channel. For Rob Mullins on camera tonight. For Isaiah Eights on camera. For Keith Whitman here next to me, I'm Bret Swinney. We'll see you next week as Chapel Hill over Gilmer 71-53 right here on NetSN. Good night, everybody.